in my life. Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're all well. And tonight we're welcoming, we're bringing back two young nutters, to say the least. You know,
Hi.
in a good way. PTTP, Sarah and Rosie, Portal to the Paranormal. We've met them a couple of times, and it's always a laugh having them on. They never disappoint. So, ladies, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you for having us again. It's awesome that you've invited us back on.
I enjoy having you on, but you know what I'm going to ask you first off. Let's have it. Come on, let's have the accent.
Well, we've been practicing. I've been writing them down, and we figure if you could tell us what they mean,
because I ain't got a clue.
So the first one here is your bombs out the waddy. What does that mean?
You're bombed out the waddy.
Your bums out the waddy.
Your bum's out the windy.
Windy. Yeah, that's it. Windy.
I mean, basically, it means you're talking rubbish.
Oh, you do that one then.
I think I want to do this one because this one's really funny. Now, you probably won't need to explain it because I kind of get it, but I hope your neck shakes a hedgehog.
Not quite what I was expecting, but you know, that'll do.
I love that one.
Oh, this one's a good. Shut it, fanny balls.
Why did you pick all the swearing ones?
Is it?
Oh, we didn't know.
What's a bum pot?
A bum pot's an idiot, basically.
And your rooster.
See, that's more or less the same as a bum pot. A bum pot, idiot, kind of thing. Hi, Daniel and Ghost Sisters. Thanks for coming in. And so, bum pot and roaster are basically the same thing. Your bum's out the window means you're talking crap.
Oh,
yeah.
And, the other one, the what?
Yeah, Joby.
You know what that means, surely?
No.
You got be.
A Joby.
Yeah, it says yeah, Joby. Yeah, Joby. Have I said it right?
Aye, a Joby's a poop.
I laid a Joby.
I'm going for a Joby.
Your Joby is a poo.
And a peely wally. What's a yeah, wee peely wally? What's a peely wally?
If you're looking peely wally, it means that you're looking pale, looking under the weather.
You need a spray tan.
Aye, yeah, what?
Tatties and nips, potatoes and turnips.
Aye.
Yes, it's only because I was a chef and I used to do Burns night.
Oh, you got and this one's got to be you there, Scott. You're a bonny wee lad.
Oh, thanks very much. Use a bra wee lassies.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Can't believe you wrote them down. How long did you work on them?
Ages. I was just YouTubing it before. I was like, really cool YouTubing them, writing them all down.
Yeah, listening, got Alexa on it and like helping us like with the Scottish accent.
Don't know what they mean, but no, thanks for elaborating.
Well, there you go. I've explained as much as I can.
Perfect. I like it.
That's one reason. It's not the only reason, but it's one reason I like having you on, because I love the way you try and do the Scottish accent, and it's became kind of a running joke.
Yeah, it is. It literally, we said, like obviously, like you said, obviously brushing up on the accents, and even Sarah's husband was like, he loves you guys doing that accent, even though I'm not very good at it.
We'll have to find some more, won't we?
Yes, definitely.
Stephen Webb's saying as long as Scott isn't a big Jesse. I'm not a big Jesse. Don't believe a word you hear, Stephen. I am not a big
Jesse.
That means a big goose, a big girl kind of thing.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Stephen's nice. Stephen's from Australia.
Hi, Stephen.
He's come all the way from Australia. But I'm not a big Jesse. Don't believe the rumours. It's just no but thanks for the accent. First of all, congratulations on the Patty interview last week. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was so nervous.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't get my words out. But once I got into the flow of it, I felt like natural. It was
You
fine.
did awesome.
But then I lost myself halfway through and then pulled it out my bum
You
on the
did.
last bit.
Are you kind of paused a wee bit? There was a
Yeah.
there was a
I didn't
couple of
have-
these things.
I didn't have my aunt and Deb. See, I didn't have my moral support here. We sort of help each other out, and I was
know.
flying solo.
I wasn't very well. I emailed Patty in the morning just saying I just generally I have arthritis, so when I can't move, I can't move, and I was having a really, really bad day, and I couldn't do work, and I'm thinking by the evening I kind of picked up a little bit and I would be able to move, but I couldn't not go to work and then do a nice cheerful podcast. So
And she was such
But
a
you-
big name as well, and I felt
you did
really like
perfect.
I was terrified.
you smashed it.
I was like that.
She is quite. But the thing I found with when I first got in touch with her about a year and a half ago or something, you know, I mean, it's Patty Negri, for God's sake, you know, she is quite, you know, massive sort of thing.
Yeah, she is.
No size wise, you know,
Yes.
career wise, I mean.
Yeah,
Yes.
career-wise, yeah.
And she says, well, let's do a video call, you know. So I thought, right, okay, so I think it was like 5 o'clock at night or something, and we're phoning Patty Negri, you know, but see, about 2 minutes in, she was totally, you know, as soon as we started talking to her,
Yeah.
totally down to earth, you know, and a lot of people think that, you probably know yourself, you get big names in the paranormal, some of them, it goes to their head,
Yeah.
you know,
She's
and,
down
you
to
know,
earth.
So down to earth. Yeah.
don't talk to me, you know, do you know who I am, and all that, you know,
Yeah.
Peely Valley, Joby, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Using some of your lingo there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Patty, she's really down to earth and really nice. And I talked to Patty quite a wee bit. Kind of keep in touch when she's not been on the show. And you know, we done one week with 2 lives on, and we needed Patty, and I mailed her 2 weeks before it, and just says, "Well, we've got 2 lives, and I need you on." I say, "I just tell me when and where."
Perfect.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Brilliant.
And I really was so intrigued about her witch side as well. And I think I got some good questions in there. And she just let it flow.
Yeah.
She was so open to it all.
The only thing with Patty and me, it's a kind of running joke. She cannot understand a word I say.
Oh.
Oh.
And with me being Glaswegian, the longer we talk, the faster we get. No, I worked it out a few months ago with Patty that she gets a certain look in her face when I'm talking.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
I can tell that she's not understood a word I've said.
Oh, bless
Smile
her.
and nod.
Smile and nod.
Like that.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, that's it. She's just in a, you know, right. I said, Patty, you don't know, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. She said,
No. Bless her.
Well,
she's what are you going to say?
She's going to be in Bosworth Hall, the Festival of the Unexplained. And you know, there's a special going on. We just upgraded our tickets.
We just
haven't we?
upgraded our tickets.
So for £150, you get
£250.
£250 for 2 people. You get the day throughout the day, all the stalls,
Saturday.
the talks, the chats, and everything. The rave chaser is going to be there. Patty Negri is going to be there. Danny Class is going to be there. And then in the evening, you get a buffet and a disco, and then you get to go back the next day and do more stalls and more chats and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
Patty's one of the speakers for Sunday.
yeah, she is.
So
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
Aye, we were invited down by the Ghost Whisperers, I think it is.
Oh,
No.
We can't. We're doing the Ivy House. Scottish people should come with subtitles.
Oh.
We're doing the Ivy House. It was the 4th of March, but we're doing it with Charlie and Rocks for the Haunted Hunts,
right.
Right.
and Rosie and Wonderland as well. But Charlie mailed me earlier on to say, can we move it to another date because they're finishing off filming season 5
Yeah.
on the 4th. So we're doing the Ivy House on the 11th now.
Oh.
And then we're heading to London end of March.
No.
So, it's the way it
Swings
is.
and roundabouts, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But if you've got a weekend towards the end of March, pop down. London's not too far from Southampton. We can
Yeah.
show you a few places down there.
I've been to Southampton before. Lovely people.
Yeah.
But so we're heading down there, and so it's timing. Do you know what I
It
mean?
is.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
And financially as well, we can't, because the Ivy House is going to be a big thing for us, because it'll be our first investigation south of the border.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
Ivy House is, the Axe House, Demon House,
Yes.
what have you. So we're no wanting to miss that. And then of
No.
course the London, because tonight Jack's Harmon, we do this show on a Thursday night, but Jack's hasn't been too well the last week, so that's
Oh,
how
bless.
I'm doing solo. But hopefully she watches this. I was talking to her earlier on.
Oh, I
Um,
hope you're well. I hope you get well soon.
and I hope she gets really quick and gets back here to help me. So that's
Yes,
why I'm
get back.
here.
You've got to get back.
She's coming. Jax is coming here. It's between the 20th and the 30th of March.
Yeah.
She's going to London. So the plan is for us to meet up there in
Nice.
London and do a wee bit of sightseeing. I've been to London many times. I love London.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
except the money side of it, of course.
It is
Yeah,
expensive. Very. I went just before Christmas and like landed with this bill at one of the restaurants. And I will not fault the food was absolutely superb, but it was the service charge after, and I was like, right, okay, let's pay and run. Like, let's get out because I'm gonna want more food. But oh yeah, it's beautiful, but it's pricey.
Oh, we even but I used to go down all the time, and I've got friends stays in Putney, so I'd go down, stay there, and it's no far from Richmond. And we went out one night, and there was a pizza place in Richmond, and it was like he'd paid for the dinner, so we ate the night before.
Yeah.
So I says, right, I'll get the dinner the night. So I spotted this pizza place, and it was 2 for 1.
Cheeky.
Aye.
I'm getting the 2-for-1s in.
I'm really in the mood for a pizza the night, guys. So we went in there and we got a couple of pizzas and some drinks, and I went out to pay the bill, and I was like £62.
No.
Oh my!
I only got a couple of pizzas, and
And just
like, you
get
got
2 for
drinks,
£15 down the road.
I thought, you kid, I could have made them because I'm a chef as well, same as you, Rosie.
Yeah.
I could have made them my bloody self.
Yeah.
62 quid.
Put Mackie D's next time.
Yeah.
Burger time next time for you, mate.
Yes.
Well, but all London's are so, and obviously we read the history as well. And
Oh gosh, yeah.
we're big Judas fans, and London's just steeped in it.
My mum's just been watching. She's actually got me and Andrea, my partner, hooked on Inside Tower of London. Now I think it's been going for quite a while. I'm not sure what channel it's on, but it's on Sky. Inside Tower of London. You get modern bit, but then you get the history, and you get the dark history of when Anne Boleyn was beheaded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would love to go to Tower of London just to do an investigation.
Have
Even
you-
today.
I think National War Museum would be good as well, wouldn't it? With all the tanks and all the artifacts.
Have you never been to the tower?
No, we actually want to plan either this year or next year to go in Tower of London. But I've been stood outside it and I saw all the poppies when we had the shower of poppies coming out of the window and down into the moat, and saw a beefeater. And that was we haven't been in there yet, but
I've been 3 times to the tower,
Oh.
and it's absolutely amazing.
Is it? Oh, I want to go now. We got to go. We got to go.
Yeah, we'll have to.
We got to go.
Oh, you've definitely. I mean, you're a lot closer than we are.
Yes, we're a train away.
We've got the British Heritage card now, haven't we? So we're going to explore all over, aren't we?
Yeah, got the British Heritage card.
Heritage card. It's only £120 and go everywhere.
Scottish version, but no, as soon as you walk into the tower, you go through the gates, you get the lines and what have you. The statues, pardon me, sitting. As soon as you walk in, you can just feel you stand at Traitor's Gate, and it's obviously Traitor's Gate is where you went in and never came back out again.
Yeah.
And when you stand there and you're looking at it and you're thinking how many Anne Boleyn for one, how many people actually walked through were broken.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so many, because even this program, it tells you a lot of obviously the history about it, and like you said, going through the Traitor's Gate, and if the guy that did the execution and had the big axe thing, if that was pointing at you coming off that boat, your head's gone.
Oh god.
Like, so it's little things, and they still keep those like traditions up. And obviously when they're doing like tours and talks and stuff, they keep obviously up to those traditions that everything has to be shut up at a certain time of night. But like you said, how many people walked through those walls?
That's it. See, when you get into the tour, also you can get, there's various parts of the building you can go in. And one of the parts is it's where they used to, they'll kind of start again. Prison cells, dungeons, no dungeons, prison cells. And they've got glass panels over them, but you can stand and you can read with the prisoners have scratched into the walls, their names and dates and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, it's all still there. But obviously
Nice.
it's covered up with perspex or glass.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely amazing. The only thing that got me, there's Stephen. I watched a video of a beefeater doing a tour of a town in London. They are really funny. I spoke to a few of them when I was done. Obviously, me being Scottish, I'm just a nosy bee. So you go and you just say hello to them. You know, I'm going to talk to you. And the information these guys have got is absolutely amazing. We want to bring I always get you and the letters mixed up. We want to bring the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you recommend the best location to hire?
Dan's the big bearded boss man.
Oh, is he the
GTP. He is the big bearded boss man. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
Hi, boss.
Well, we was going to
Nice to meet you, Daniel. Nice to meet you. You've got a couple of good lassies, all looking lassies there on your team, son. That's Scottish, by the way.
What we're talking about a weekend at Scotland with your mate with the B&B and then go around the tunnels. You were talking about tunnels last time, wasn't you?
The vaults.
The Edinburgh Vaults.
Yeah, but like bring people up and stay there for like a weekend.
You come up and the Edinburgh Vaults, you've got the Blair Street Vaults and you've got Nudgee Street South and Nudgee Street Vaults. We investigated the Nudgee Street South Vaults and we had 5 cameras and none of our footage worked.
Right.
I talked to another team who also done the same vaults and they did the exact same. None of their footage worked. When we were in one of the vaults, one of the rooms, everybody was 5 or 6. We heard this voice saying, "Why?" Now, we never had any apps or anything, but we were just standing there. And we heard this voice saying, "Why?" And it came, everybody looked at the same time, out to the same corner. But it was, it was just us there. There was nobody else there.
Yeah.
And did you hear that? So I would say the Nudgee Street Vaults.
Nice.
I'm just going through some of the comments. We had Emma.
That's my mum. Emma Cardy is my mum. She's put, we're definitely going. She goes wherever. She's a little super fan.
Evening, Mr. Cardy. Pleasure to meet you. Have a lovely day. I've done many things close.
Going back to London, isn't there that graveyard as well with Dracula? And is there another one?
Yes,
it's the same one where a famous person was buried.
You can't get in there at night time.
Oh.
It's closed, and you've got to pay to get in during the day because it's respectful.
Is it the same graveyard?
Yes.
What's it called? Do you remember?
Highgate.
Highgate. Yeah.
We're going to head there as well when we're done. I've not been to Highgate when I've been to London, but definitely Highgate's a definite one.
Yeah.
I have done.
You've got 7 graveyards around London, so they're the 7 wonders. 7. Can't think of where, but they're 7 cemeteries. But obviously, London now goes beyond those cemeteries. London, they used to be on the outskirts, and then London grew round it. And also because London's massive. But Highgate is the biggest main one.
You're gonna jump the fence, Scott.
Squeeze
through. There's a big fence. Hampton Court Palace as well. If you have not been, you got to go.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
Massive. I've been three times to Hampton Court Palace, and even as I say, with the Tower of London, you stand with history. When you stand at the archway to the main courtyard, you stand and you think Henry VIII came through here, all his wives came through here, Cardinal Wolsey, all these people all passed through here because obviously Hampton Court was built by Wolseley.
Yeah.
And you think, all these people have, I'm standing where these people have actually been.
Yeah.
You know.
You kind of like you said, like you've stood where they were, you've touched the door that they would have opened, or like obviously their guards would have opened. And I always go, I've had a pee where one's probably peed. Where many people have peed. I always think of who's sitting on this toilet. Obviously their toilet back then would have been a box.
Yeah, they just throw it over the side, don't they?
Aye, they just get in the bucket and didn't shoot her. That's why the Thames is brown. You know.
Oh no.
Oh, dear. It's a beautiful city, but they really need to do something with that river.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Really need to do
Could you imagine when they empty, if they ever do empty it, what they would find?
Yeah.
Oh God, you would. You can't imagine that, can you?
No.
You just cannot imagine everything they would find in there. But your boss man saying that he done Mary King's Close was too much going. I don't know what that means, but sorry,
wasn't much going on.
No, chaperoned, weren't they? I think.
Yeah,
with the lights on.
We wasn't there.
No.
They had like parts of the lights on, and they obviously had a member of the staff with each group, obviously because I think they had like artifacts out and like coins out, so obviously just making sure that people didn't take anything, which is respectful, obviously. But as Dan obviously said, there wasn't much going on there. So
it's just the noise pollution, maybe.
Yeah.
The Mary King's Close, I mean, it is active, you know, but I think I've got to say that you need to go at the right time. But we were there the other night. In fact, we were there good days. Tuesday night, how we took a run to Edinburgh and I've done a few lives up and down the mile because it was the first dry day we'd had in weeks, you know.
You might as well get out and do something.
Mark Edgerton, he was meant to be in, but unfortunately he's no well. So, well, we want to do something. So jumped in a way to Edinburgh. And Mary King's Close is meant to be quite active, but we've never investigated it. Karen saying she did. I did the Edinburgh one graveyard, didn't feel anything good. You mean Greyfriars, Karen? Because I was in Greyfriars. I've been in Greyfriars hundreds of times.
You've mentioned it so many times, and I want to go.
Yeah.
We've investigated it a few times, and we've never ever picked up anything except a mail in front of the Mackenzie tomb, and it was very, very brief. And I don't think it was George Mackenzie. We don't even get me started on that one. You know, because he was blamed for everything in Greyfriars, basically.
Yeah.
But we've picked up nothing. We get there's more a feeling of calm.
Yeah.
You know, and peacefulness in there than there is anything else.
Yeah.
Greyfriars. Greyfriars is an amazing place. It really is. The amount of history that's in that one particular spot is estimated about 500,000 bodies are buried in there.
Whoa.
You know.
You got any good prisons up there? Any good abandoned prisons?
In
Scotland?
No, see, we don't have that in Scotland.
Oh, we're off to one tomorrow night. We're off to Shepton Mallet tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I know. No, we don't have any empty prisons in Scotland because they're all bloody full.
They're all filled up. They can't close down.
Aye, you know, so we don't have. See, you're lucky, and like in America as well. They've got all these abandoned asylums and prisons.
Yeah.
We don't have that anything.
Got loads of castles up there, haven't you?
Castles. I've got plenty of castles, Ken. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, plenty. We love the castles. Just the gravestones along are amazing to look at. There. I done a wee walk round the other night and we were looking at some of it. It was pitch black, but you know, some of the gravestones are just, you know, absolutely amazing. But that's the thing, you don't get that these days. When you get back to London and what have you, you take a walk around London and you look at the Tower, Hampton Court, Hyde Park, the Tower Bridge as well.
Yeah,
you know, even the bridge itself, it's an amazing place.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
When you think of all the work that's went into it and the architecture, and it's all these wee symbols you find. This is what I like.
Always look up. That's what I always say. Always look up because so many things on buildings that people miss. Like you said, it's like little plaques or little images or
with dates on,
dates and names and stuff. And it's I think it's just brilliant, and kind of like that for Winchester.
Yes, that was the capital way back when, wasn't it? And that's cobbled streets and
643. I want to say Winchester was the capital. And then obviously then it became London. Obviously then became the capital. But yeah, Winchester was the capital. Charles visited today actually. Winchester. He opened up a statue.
No, he didn't. He got COVID. No, he didn't come.
Did he not?
No, it was all over the radio.
Oh.
Yeah, he had to opt out. He did a lateral flow test and he's like, nah, sorry, can't come.
Oh. No. Oh, well, that was that then.
You told Rosie, innit?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, see if you want to know about the Tudors in London. Professor Susanna Lipcombe.
Yes.
Have you heard of her?
Yes.
I watched something the other night on My Five that she done a Tudor walk, and it was amazing. She's talking about Edward I, Bloody Mary, Elizabeth, and all the rest of it. And I've watched quite a lot of her stuff, and I have been trying to get a hold, but I can't get a hold of her. I've been trying to get her on the show.
Oh, if you do, send this way as well.
But she is definitely a lady to watch. I have a book with Grace from the marketing if you would like to borrow it. She's part of your team. This lass is absolutely amazing. So investigation wise, so far this year we've only been able to go out once. What about yourselves? What have you been up to?
We went to the National Paranormal Research Centre, didn't we?
Yes, so it's in Hinckley, so in Leicester. So it's a paranormal.
Neil Packer.
Yep. It's absolutely amazing place.
He owns it, doesn't he?
Yes.
So downstairs as you walk in, it's just a shop with like selling all these paranormal bits and things like that. And it's not particularly old. Well, it's been around for like the high street was a marketplace years and years ago. So I was asking them a bit of the information and what he's got going in it. He calls it the research centre. So upstairs he's got loads of artifacts of old stuff, haunted stuff. This one doll, well, it wasn't a doll, it was an ornament.
It's so it's like an African lady ornament, and you're not allowed to touch that one, so it has got a glass casing in. You've got a doll's room, so that's where we stayed.
Yeah. An army room.
You got an army room.
Going back to the doll, you're not allowed to touch it. And one person broke the arm, and they broke their arm, didn't they? Oh,
I know. So somebody not with us, but somebody accidentally dropped the doll. I can't remember how many years ago it was. Broke the head off. They glued it back on, and apparently she then later died in a car accident with a broken neck. So they've now put it down to no. So obviously they put it down to the doll's cursed.
Yeah.
So they now put this glass casing over the top of it because they just don't want people touching it because they don't want to be responsible of what could happen if you do.
There was a few Ouija boards in each room, but they leave the Ouija boards open because they want to entice any kind of negative and any energy. They have a demon. What are they doing? They're like a demon research thing that they're doing there
because they have you have soil from 25 Cromwell Street from Fred and Rose West.
We I thought it was a good idea to finger Fred West. So we stuck our finger in the soil and then went on the Ouija board. So we fingered Fred West.
Freddie got fingered, we said.
I don't know what to say to that one.
No,
it moved.
It moved.
Oh, but it was really strong. It was one making any sense.
It was only us team there, so we trust each other. And it wasn't really making much sense, but definitely the planchette was moving.
Wasn't there an eerie feeling? It was absolutely freezing in there.
Freezing cold.
And there was one room, wasn't there, that he made this copper kind of. So what you put the medium or somebody at one under the table in this copper triangle called tubing, because it's meant to, apparently copper enhances some sort of the paranormal, the energy. And then they had this copper tubing, which was a square in the middle of the table, and then a pendulum with a crystal hanging. A bell. Was it a bell or crystal? Crystal hanging from it. And then was it a bell?
And then there was a bell as well. And then you had the human one, so you had a chair sat underneath the big triangle one.
We did the Gansfield,
Yeah.
and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And when we was touching the copper tubing,
you can the lady demonstrated it. So if you go to move it, you can hear it scraping on the table. But when we were on it, and she said it will happen, if it happens, you'll know when it happens. It was gliding, and it was like it was hovering. There was no noise from this huge copper square going across the table with our fingertips on it.
we put Jojo underneath, and we put you underneath, didn't we?
Yep.
With the blindfold on and the
Gansfield.
Gansfield radio in the ears.
Yeah.
And it was some really good results.
Yes.
We was asking questions, and we were getting some great results back.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a place to go to.
You can sleep there.
Yes,
It's freezing,
we slept there.
but you can sleep there, and it's not that expensive either.
No.
I live in Scotland. It's constantly freezing up here, so you know.
Yeah, we had sleeping bags, slippers, hoodies, gloves. We were ready to go. Hot water bottles.
Too scared to go to the toilet, and usually I'm not really bothered, but it was such an eerie feeling in there.
It was definitely an odd feeling, especially in the doll room with all the eyes on you while you're sleeping. But I don't mind dolls, so.
I spoke to a couple of people about, you know, the attachment to dolls and objects and stuff, you know, and I know there's quite a few people that think it's a load of baloney, you know, that spirit can attach itself to a doll, and you bring it home, and you bring the spirit and the doll, and that's you done, you know. What do you think? Do you think it is a real thing? That's what I do.
Yeah, so I believe, so with my dolls that I've got, I won't claim that I have any haunted dolls, because I can have my equipment next to some of the dolls and the equipment will go off. But there is one doll that I do have. Her name's Victoria. When we went to 30 East Drive, there was a wall or a little cabinet that says with letters asking for forgiveness because they took a bit of coal home. Now, they didn't explain what happened to these people, so I wanted to kind of see what was going on.
She stole a bit of coal, basically.
I didn't steal it. No, it could have just been down the shop, down from the garage. So I took a little bit, only a tiny little bit, and it's now in the middle of my doll's chest. So it's like her black heart. Since I have had her, my cat balls will go off more often in my glass cabinet, because I have a glass cabinet with haunted art, like some haunted, well, I say haunted stuff, but I have a bit of wood from the Hinsdale house that my mum got me for Christmas. I have this old 1920s doll that one of the eyes moved on their own. Are they haunted? I don't know. But I could just say that my equipment goes off more now that Victoria's had that bit of coal in her chest. Oh yeah, still got it. She sleeps on my bed, like next to my bedside. She's in a glass cabinet with everything.
I think it's how much you love an item as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get these people that can hold a ring, or I've got this money box that he's a black man that eats pennies, and that's really, he's ugly, but it means much to me, because me and my dad went to we went to an antique and I got it, so it holds a lot of sentimental value for me. And I think sometimes they pick up on stuff, don't they? They hold objects, mediums and that, and find stuff out by it. So maybe there's something in it.
It is really a medium amount of energy that can actually come through an object. Just your talk about East Drive, I watched, you know, one of these nights you want to watch rubbish just for a laugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it was a ghost show. I'm not going to name who it was, but they were at East Drive.
Yep.
You know, and it was just as soon as they put the key in the front door, they heard, you know, footsteps running about and all the rest of it. And there was one of these ones that there were one person screamed, and then there was a slight pause. Then this other person looked at the person and they started screaming, but nothing had happened.
No.
And so would you imagine, what was the atmosphere like in the house? I know it's kind of 50-50. Is it just all right, money-wise, and other people say there is definitely something there. What did you
I've been 3 times, and you've been the first time.
I've been the first time.
So I'll let you say your first time to then my 3 times.
We were in the kitchen, because you're not allowed to do the Ouija board in there. But we thought, you know, we'll do some glass work and table tipping. And the feeling that you do get in there, it is pretty eerie. I think that the dad that died in the bathroom, what's his name, Joe? It's spelled it's sort of when we're asking on the glass work, we were asking, did you live here? And then we asked, are you Joe? And it was going crazy. And of course, it's us investigators, so we're not going to tamper with our stuff. And the table lifted up when we were asking if it was Joe, and it was moving around in the kitchen. And I think Joe's there. I don't think anything sinister's there anymore. I think maybe that's just my personal opinion, but I've only been once. And, you know, you can go to one place, nothing happened, you can go again, and it's live wire, you know. So, you know, it might have been a different night. You don't know. But I do feel that Joe's there, definitely.
Yeah.
The dad.
So same was like you with the 3 times that I've been. The first time you walk through that door and it's like, ugh. It's like this really weird feeling. Now, was that because you're at 30 East Drive? And that was the hype of, you're at 30 East Drive. What went down on in here? Whatever, you know, if it did happen, so forth. Very, very, very subtle things happened when we were there. We had, the first time we went, it was just some team members. Second time we had a few guests. The second time we were waiting for our takeaways, because you can have takeaways, and the delivery drivers will literally lob it at you from the end of the pathway and then run. No, they pretty much like halfway up the pathway, and they're like there you go, and then run again. So it is quite funny to watch that bit. We were all downstairs, so everyone was accounted for. It is attached to another house on it, so if you're looking at it, it's attached to the left side. Obviously nothing's attached to the other side, but you could clearly hear two footsteps above your head, which was the double bedroom, which obviously would have been the mum and dad's bedroom. And that definitely was not from next door. It was all above us. We all kind of went, okay, right, well, let's eat up and get investigating.
Yeah.
From then, a few cat balls went off. That night, it's said to be a vortex on top of the stairs. I don't know how true that is, but all I can say is
footsteps.
The second time, I didn't sleep because the cat ball kept going off and off and off, and I swapped the cat balls around to make sure it wasn't a dodgy one. New cat ball's gone down, and it was going off and off and off. So I was like, I'm done, because I was sleeping in the hallway, half head in Diane's room, half body in the hallway. No, I'm done.
The early hours of the morning, I felt my bed rocking. I felt like you're vibrating on the bed, because I slept in Philip's room.
Yeah.
And it could have been a central heating system coming on. You know, I try and debunk these things, but it was just odd.
Yeah. It's just an odd feeling.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You need to try and debunk. I've watched, and I think this is just my personal opinion, but I think a lot of ghost shows have ruined it. East Drive, you know, one in particular, which I'm not going to name, but I'm sure everybody will know. You know, they were busted so many times faking stuff in the actual house.
Yeah,
you know, and it gave it that kind of stigma.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, you've got, which is it's very much like Greyfriars, because Greyfriars has got this reputation. People walk in and it's their mind that's already telling them, you know, oh, I'm scared in here. I don't feel, you know, safe because of everything they've heard. Did you say East Drive? You walk, oh, this is East Drive. It's going to be haunted.
Yes. Yeah. You've already got that expectation of, I'm going to be dragged up the stairs. I'm going to have my knives thrown at me. And, you know, we set stuff up we set trigger objects, and they already have their own dolls there. So I didn't take any dolls, but I did take Victoria back with me with the coal to see if anything would happen with her. Cat balls were going off next to her up and
put the crucifix on the side, so if it is anything demonic, they're not going to like that. Jawed around the crucifix.
Jamie took a Bible with him, never got thrown. So is it every night? Again, I am a stone tape believer, so every night's different night, but it will show you its memory when it the anniversary say but it's. I do say people need to check it out.
It's hit and
miss for their own selves.
That's what I'm going to say. It's the kind that we get the chance to do it last year. But it was a Wednesday night, and it was GSI. They'd get access to it for the part of the Paraflick series, and they phoned us up and says, "Look, we're doing East Drive tomorrow night. Just want to come?" And you know, it was just so much. It was too short notice.
Too short.
Come down, but we just could not. You know, we just couldn't make it.
Shame.
But as you say, sometimes you get a place like say us with Caldwell last year, we get tons of activity there. But there was the odd time we went and we get nothing.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
stand there 2 or 3 years, as you know.
Yeah.
And
Every
nothing.
night is a different night. I always,
It
you know, like we always joke, they're not in your little black book.
They're not performing monkeys.
They're not
They just
performing
rock up when
monkeys.
they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my first ever time at Fort Widley, and Mum's, I know she's watching, she'll witness, nothing happened. Complete dead night. But then now I'm a paranormal. That was as I was a guest with another company. But now I'm a paranormal investigator. I actually want to say it's probably one of up there with hearing footsteps.
I've had some terrifying nights at Fort
Yeah,
Woodley.
and they're dark underground tunnels.
I've had intelligent knocking,
Yeah,
whispers in the ears,
cat balls on command, K2 on command, REM pod
brilliant
on command.
tabletopping, like whizzing round, walking itself out the room kind of thing.
But then you can go next week and it can just be completely dead. It's every night's different.
We had the ghostwriting pen, what's it called? Automatic writing on a board, and we set our camera up just to film it while we went off into another tunnel. And the thing is that it was there, the footage was there, but it wouldn't let us open it. And the actual pen had moved, so it had drawn a line. And I thought, if we could see that, if we would look back at it, and it just wouldn't let us into that footage. And that's happened to a few people in there.
We're talking about footage and filming, and then it not letting you play it 2 days later after you filmed it, and you know you've recorded it. Now Mum has put a message, I can see she's put a message, tell Scott about last Friday. Well, I briefly informed you before we went live, the whole in the fence.
Into a certain place.
Yeah, we won't obviously say too much about it, but I will say it was I've been back three times I've been there. Second time I went with two of our, as they call themselves, VIP guests, Ben and Kian. They are our regular guests with us, and I went out with them, so just the three of us went into one of the buildings, and Ben started drawing on this dirty wall, as you do, and this almighty bang came within the building. Now I couldn't see down the corridor because it was pitch black, and we ran. I couldn't run too much. I panicked because we thought it might have been people. We managed to get ourselves out about 10 minutes later after me having a panic attack, and went back last Friday with a few more people and with my mum. Similar things started happening again. There was glass all over the floor. We'd all gone in there to check that there was nobody in there. Came back out, went into small little groups, and then regrouped again, and you can hear the footsteps on the glass crunching. Now it wasn't just like 5 footsteps or 2, like it was just 1 or 2 very subtle footsteps, and then this bang just happened. Now my mum was doing short burst videos, recording it, night vision, and we went to go, this was last Friday, went Sunday to go and watch it, and you cannot read the disc. It's to keep saying disc error, disc error, disc error. And we've tried so much to sort it, but whatever's there, don't want people there to find out what happened.
Don't want you filming it.
And really did not want my mum filming it. And there was a point where this massive big bang happened, and we all stood there and went and shot backwards. And we were like, right, okay, I think this is now time to leave, because but we're planning to go back.
I've got a couple of comments to pop, girls, but before I put them up, just what you're saying about footage working out. It's happened to me. I went to Ardrossan Castle, and then I went to Kilwinning Abbey and Eglinton Park on the same day, and I filmed wee bits and pieces. The Ardrossan Castle worked out and Eglinton Park worked out. Kilwinning Abbey I wouldn't have done the record.
Wow.
I went back, this was during the day, I went back a few days later at night, just to the Abbey. I said, I'm going to get back. And so I went back and I had a wee walk round, recorded it, went back home, and again, it wouldn't play.
No. It's just weird, because it's like with Mum said, she was like, no, I was definitely recorded. And then 3 of us was watching behind her. And you can see the little record button in the middle of the screen, like at the top of the screen, in the middle. So she was definitely recording, because we were watching, seeing what she can see, because it's pitch black to us. Obviously, night vision, you can see it, but no, you cannot read it. And she did short, I think she was doing short few minute bursts of filming,
Yeah.
and I think I'll probably want to say around about 8 to 10 little short bursts she took. Not one can be read.
It's the same as when I'll get to your comments in a wee second, folks.
Yeah.
It's the same as we done Caldwell. With first investigation, we had a locked off camera. We put it in the corner on a tripod and just press record and just let it run. Nobody touched it. Nobody was near it. And so we get quite good results that night, and it kind of freaked the girls out. So we kind of left prematurely. So the next day, I was here and I was going through the footage on the camera, and it turned itself off after 6.5 minutes. There
Wow.
was still about 3/4 of a battery in it.
And
Nobody
it
had
just
been
turned
near it.
itself off.
And I started to think back to the previous night, and I thought, well, it was round about the 7 or 8 minute. The video's up now on our Facebook page. I was round about the 7 or 8 minute mark that
Yep.
the K2 started to go, the cat balls, and we started to get
It's all
voices
starting to
Yeah.
conjuring
the
up.
app, and the team started to hear different things and takes a breath or various things. And it was round about after that camera went off. So I'm not saying it was paranormal, but
No.
it does make you what? Why did that camera turn off?
Exactly.
And your batteries
Absolutely.
drain as well. Sometimes I had my ghost box on, and I put brand new batteries in, and I turned it on. It's dead. I'm thinking I've not hardly used it. Why is it
Dictaphones
dead?
as well. My dictaphone, like I can have my dictaphone working at home absolutely perfectly, and in some locations I'll give it to two of our guests. I'll go off down that tunnel, do some calling out,
Yeah.
leave it 10 to 20 seconds, then ask another question and so forth, and they'll start. And then it'll go, oh, that is dead. But I'm thinking, you just watched me put new batteries in.
Yeah. Always charge it up.
Like,
Charge it up before investigation.
That's happened. And we were talking about this last week in the live, just before I come to the comments. The word coincidence pops up all the time in the paranormal.
what is
and
a
it really
coincidence?
grinds my gears at times, because you think, the amount of batteries that drain, the amount of cameras that turn off, all these same things that happen at all different investigations, and people say it's coincidence. It can't be if it happens worldwide. I've been talking to a lot of American
Once
teams.
is a coincidence, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and
They love draining a K2 meter as well, isn't it? Forever putting batteries in them bloody things.
Yes.
We went to Greyfriars one night. We planned a 3 a.m. investigation just for something different to do, and we had 2 fully charged batteries. Each battery lasted about 15 minutes, and that was it. We had no way of charging them, so that was it. It was kind of home time.
Home time. Our equipment's dead.
There's nothing we can do, I'll just stick these comments up. Stephen's asking, you ever been to Westminster Abbey?
No, so me and my partner went to London just before Christmas, and we were gonna do. I had this little itinerary planned out for us, but unfortunately we didn't get round to Westminster Abbey. But we did do the Ghost Bus tour in London. So my mum brought that for me and my partner for Christmas, and we did the Ghost Bus tour, and it went past Westminster Abbey, and I highly recommend a Ghost Bus tour in London. It is one, funny, 2, the history you get from it that you obviously you can probably find on the internet, but obviously the acting going with it is perfect. But we would love to do Westminster Abbey.
Can you do a Jack the Ripper tour as well? I think you can't you? Walk down where he killed all the prostitutes.
You can. What's his name? We've had him on a few times. I'll look up his name. He does.
He's an older gentleman, isn't it?
He's really, really good at doing them. We've had them on twice. He's an historian. He lives in London, and he does the Jack the Ripper tours.
Nice.
His name's gone. I'll mail you his name. I'll come back.
Yeah.
This guy is absolutely. That's why annoying me now. His name. Anyway, I'll dig his name out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I actually approached Westminster Abbey.
Did you?
I chased off. There was the last time I went to London myself. It was just after the terrorist attacks at the bridge and what have you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
The whole place was locked down. So you come out the train at Westminster, and you come out and you get Big Ben right in front of you, and then you get the Abbey. So I came out. I'm going to take a walk, and I started to walk towards the Abbey, and these 2 or 3 armed police came out. Where are you going? Where are you? I said, well, no, you can't go in. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I've got to see the Abbey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I say, it was a beautiful place. Exactly, we went to that Castle evidence was amazing, yet we went a few months later and we got nothing. It was one night we done as a house nearby to where Laura's talking about, and
Right.
we went to the castle, and for some reason we didn't record it. It's one of these things, you know, you go and you say, "We'll just jump in there,"
Yeah.
and the K2 meter was going up to red constantly on command. The rest of the team were seeing this white misty shadow come by what used to be the one. I never seen it. Everybody else seen it. I missed it. And we never recorded it. And we went back a while, you know, a few weeks later, whatever, and we got diddly squat.
Oh
You know.
God! Again, it just goes down to every night.
Different
Every night's different, and
yeah.
and we've had, again, like Laura said, one thing's there, and the next minute it's just gone flat, completely nothing, and then it's just like, now we've got to be entertainers.
Don Stylers, when we was doing the Ouija boards, we had a white misty shadow descend from the ceiling. That was creepy, especially when it's indoors.
Yes, and the ceiling was really low.
Yeah.
But as you see, if you're getting loads of activity and you've got that, you know, you've got that buzz, you know, it's going to be a good night, you know, we're getting tons of whatever, and then it just goes.
Yeah. That's when the ghost stories come out.
Yeah.
And then that's when things start happening again.
Like at Merley House, when that thing come down the stairwell and we was talking about ghosts at the bottom, me and a few guests.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But you feel guilty. I mean, it's happened to us, and we've been on a live, you know, we've done it live, and you feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah,
because,
you do.
You know, you say, well, we'll get these, you know, in our case, we get people sitting at home watching us, and everything's just went, excuse me, dead.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
Yeah, it is, and it's hard for when, obviously, especially like when we have guests join us, and obviously they pay for that, because the places that we go to, we have to hire. So
we sell tickets.
We sell tickets for them to, because they covered the cost of the hire.
And we have all the equipment and everything.
Yeah,
and
so they
have the live cameras. And...
Yeah. But when something's obviously dead quiet, that is like what we said. We'll have, obviously, the ghost stories will come out. We'll share between guests, and then the little subtle bits start coming out. So
but they thrive off the energy as well, don't they? Spirits. It's like if you got high energy, if you're just going to sit there and anybody there all glum, they'd be like,
get them laughing,
have fun with it as well. And then when it does get a bit scary, we're all full of energy, aren't we?
There's Claire Keane, you're a wee gem, Claire. Richard Jones, that's his name.
Yes, Richard. So Claire is Jamie's missus. So Jamie is one of our as a team leader, as a paranormal investigator, as Sarah likes to put him.
Our resident weirdo.
Oh, we love Jamie.
He's a psychic medium.
Yeah, Claire.
Yeah.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, Claire. I don't mean that with any disrespect, because he's amazing as our
He's
Jamie.
amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks we're weirdos. You're right, paranormal, you're kind of weirdos. But there's Jem. She's from Australia. She's one of Stephen's friends' house. She's one half of Hectic Paranormal. She checked them out. 2 girls from Australia. Absolutely insane.
If you want to be on our podcast,
they're like a kind of Australian version of you two.
Oh, g'day, mate. Wad and steak and kidney. What's the brand? No, she's Zippo's gone Troppo. I have no idea what that means. I got told it one time, and it's stuck for me ever since. And I love the Australian accent. So, Jem, hello. And if you want to come and join us one time, please do.
Yesterday we found a splash bedroom on the side of the road. Its heart was still beating, but its head was badly scorched.
Oh, I love that.
We're doing a project with them just now, even though they're on the other side of the world. But the 2 of them are fantastic. Richard Jones, we had him on a couple of times, and the guy's a legend. He knows, you know, if you want a proper Jack the Ripper tour, then I'm not putting the rest of the folk doing it there, but
he delivered.
They
reckon Jack the Ripper went to America, don't they? There's a descendant of him. There's a lot of speculation about how he was killing back then, and then he went over and where was it? I'm not sure where it was. It's on Netflix. Well, there's a whole show about it.
We did. Sarah did a Jack the Ripper. We covered it as well. Way last year we covered it, and it was weird how it was H.J. Holmes.
Yes, that's it.
Yep.
How the killings just suddenly stopped.
Yeah.
And he went to America.
And then he made a house, didn't he? He was chopping them all up.
Jem Jem, the one half, she's actually from England. I forgot Gemma. Sorry, though. She's actually
Oh.
from England.
Oh.
But she lives in Australia.
She lives in Australia.
I
Oh.
forgot that. Thank you, buddy. Kind of forgot that. He kind of went to America just round about the time the killing stopped.
Yeah.
So, you know, was it coincidence? Was it him? Because then I think there was murders happened over there
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the time he arrived. And then
American Ripper. That's what it's called. The American Ripper. It's on Netflix.
well,
Really interesting.
I'm going to write that down. I knew
Yeah,
my pen.
it's really good. And the descendant, his like sons, because he married, and it's his son's great grandson or something like that is a descendant, and he's gone in with this this detective, and I can't remember whereabouts it was in America though. And he built this whole house, and he was gassing people and chopping them up into little pieces and plugging out bits of their body parts. It was gruesome. It was like a fun house, but not so fun.
No so fun for the victim.
No,
but
not at all.
I
I
mean,
guess he had a whale of a time over there.
it's going to sound kind of, you know, different, but it's an amazing story, you know. And then obviously they've never actually identified it. I know there's loads of suspects, you know.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the documents and stuff were sadly lost to a fire. They did. You see, that's one theory. Another theory is Jack the Ripper was a member. I heard that one as well, and then he was they thought he was a policeman. You know,
Yeah.
they thought he was maybe a Polish immigrant. There was that many.
So many
Yeah.
theories.
But
I think definitely he did have medical training.
yeah, he knew his way around the organs, didn't
Yeah.
he?
He did. He knew how to kind of remove stuff and swiftly and effectively.
Yeah.
There's a theory that he was actually a young man with a well-to-do background that was just, excuse the French, pissed off, basically.
Yeah.
Just went on a rampage.
Aye, that's it. He just, saw that, what kind of day? It's Tuesday night,
What do you do on a Tuesday night?
Slice up
I was going to say there's nothing on the telly. Didn't have tellies back then. I've not got anything to read. I'm going to go rip somebody
Pub was
apart.
closed.
But if they had all the modern day technology they've got now, they would have found him.
Yeah.
Yeah, DNA and all that.
They definitely would have found him. But a Whitechapel tour, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It would be.
I think, and even see if there's any activity, if you get any activity, I dare say there would be, you would get something,
Definitely.
because it's just that much a horrific story.
Yeah.
And let's face it, these women, they didn't die quietly. Well, not quietly, but what I mean, it wasn't a quick.
Wasn't a quick one of them. It was
It was that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's good to go all morbid and stuff, isn't it?
I'm so morbid. I can talk about things like that, and obviously, peace to the victims.
Yeah, but that's where you get the most paranormal activity as well, around a dramatic death, like battlefields and jails and stuff like that.
Yeah, where
asylums.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
The first ever investigation I did was on the Isle of Wight, and it was a small old mental asylum which now turned into flats. And it was my first investigation. I was 18, and I sat on the floor. The team that I went with said that, because the lady that ran that group, it was one of her ancestors that was in the asylum, so she wanted to do it before it was knocked down into flats. Anyway, they had the camera at the end. They said there's a red light on the camera, so don't be alarmed by the red light. It's not the devil's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like looking at this red dot, and I'm kind of hoping something would kind of blank that red dot out. But instead, I felt these big arms come through the wall, because I was sat on the floor up against the wall, and I felt these arms come through and tried to kind of like pull me in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gone, and I had to run down the corridor to the right, to the second corridor, to find the big group again. So yeah, asylums are
I'd love to witness
just creepy.
Some poltergeist activity. I've witnessed something very strange when we was at we went to Tor Abbey, and then we went to the Torquay Museum, and there was something in the gift shop that was on TV that happened there. and I happened to look round at a certain point where I heard this flapping, and it was like someone had run their finger at this book, and they just peeled it back, and all the pages went like that. And I'm thinking, how did that happen? But it was so fast. And of course, there's always table tipping and stuff like that, but you're not sure if someone's moving it. But the only thing that really got me for poltergeist activity was that page. I'm thinking, you know what? How can that have just done that on its own? I'd love to see like something being thrown at me, or moving at me.
You know, we've not been lucky enough to get something. It sounds bad, something thrown at us yet, but you know, I'm not talking about a breeze block or anything. You know,
no, just a stone,
no knife, sword,
a dagger, a sword, or something.
Yeah.
You know,
we're not in a circus now.
No, nothing like no daggers, but just something.
You know,
or chair pull out.
It's something, you know. I mean, in here, we've got like 2, maybe 3 spirits in here. We've done a couple of investigations in here. We got a great capsule and laser grid, but what happens a lot in here is 2 cats will sit and look into one particular corner in the hall. And the other thing that happens, usually on a daily basis, Laura's witnessed this as well. Laura stays just 5 minutes up the road. You're sitting in the bed and you feel the mattress going down behind you.
Yeah.
Like someone's sitting on the mat. Oh.
Yeah.
And I always turn around because you think it's one of the cats. It's jumped up. And you turn around and there's nothing there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, but you distinctly feel this mattress.
That is why you tuck your feet in at night time.
I don't know. I'd rather sweat it out and have your feet or have the window open at night. Would you rather have that window open or be abducted by aliens and have them steal your eggs? It's a tough call, isn't it?
I don't know.
And just the, just freak me out or anything. Just it's a daily kind of thing. And twice I've seen something, and I've been lying on the bed watching the telly, and I've seen something by the door, just right out the corner. You're talking about a split second, but something's been by the door, or somebody, and I'm in myself,
That's
and
when
it wasn't a cat.
It's like my partner. So I'm in a ground floor flat, but it's like 2 houses merged together to make 4 flats, and it used to be an old. Pardon?
A 4 in a block.
Yeah.
That's go off your head. A 4 in a block.
And it used to be an old people's home, so obviously not for many people, but it was like you had a few residents there. And I went out last Thursday, so my partner's now on his own, and he didn't tell me till the next day in the evening. He went, "Oh, I might have heard a lady's voice talk to me in the kitchen." He said, "So I heard her say, 'There you are,'" and he went, "I'm not nowhere. I'm going to bed." And my partner is like, he believes in it. I don't think he wants to. He don't want to see it. Don't want anything in his home, so he'll put himself to bed.
Yeah.
To just blop it off. But there's a couple of things that I've seen.
They always get you at night as well, don't they?
Yes.
It's like when you're in the two worlds. If you ever get the chance, Scott, there's a guy in Carmel, Maine called Kent Brewis.
Yeah.
And he does the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. He's got his own YouTube channel and everything. And he's caught some fantastic evidence of a man.
You did
shadow dude.
Yeah, you did a podcast with him, and he put his spirit box in his home in where is it?
In Carmel, Maine. Carmel. Ghosts of Carmel, Maine.
And the spirit box, you were talking and asking questions, and the spirit box went, "Sarah."
I said, "Hello, can you say my name? Can you say my name? My name's Sarah. I'm from the UK." He went, "Sarah." And I was like,
we were all like, "Oh, it's just
stuff like that." That's hard to debunk. This is Laura saying, "No, your house is freaky." Laura stayed here a couple of times. She doesn't like it here, even though she's part of the team. But stuff like that, when you get distinctive names coming through, it's happened to us at Dunure Castle. Laura's husband, he had the headphones and the blindfold on.
Yeah.
And he rhymed off 4 of our team's names.
Yeah.
And at Caldwell, my name kept coming through now I know a lot of people do down the apps, we use the Necrophonic.
We do.
It's our app of choice, if you want to put it that way. We've had a lot of stuff came through it, but it was a Scottish accent, and it was Scott quite distinctly. just about
What?
every time we went, my name came through.
Oh,
You know,
brilliant.
Wow.
and yeah, I know you can get the odd noise off your necrophonic that sounds, did that say Charlie there, or that sounded like Sheila or something like
Yeah.
that, But when you get the same name coming through
Yeah.
every time we go,
We
you
always
can't
introduce
even
ourselves,
bump
don't we?
Yeah.
And when we got the spirit box going, and then we ask it, can you say my name? And then I say, hi, my name's Sarah. Can you say Sarah? And we ask it at the end to say its name as well. But when it can repeat your name, it's like, wow.
It did necrophonic. So I mentioned the two guys earlier. We went out to a place called Hartley Maudit. It's about 43 minutes away from where I live, or where we live, and it's an abandoned. They say it's an abandoned village, but it's not. It's what's happened is the lake used to be a stables. You've still got the church, which is still an active church, and then behind it, you've then got some wooded area, which used to be a house, which is now just kind of old ruins, but it's a stone house, because it is in the middle of nowhere. And we had necrophonic on. We were sat just inside the church's doorway because obviously it wasn't open, but the little like hallway bit's open. And necrophonic, I introduced myself. I said Rosie, and then Ben went to go and say his name, and then it literally went Rosie, and then Ben scared me, and I went, what? And he went, did you not hear? I went, yeah, I heard it, but it didn't scare me. He went, that scared me, and I'm like, I'm used to that.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
But it's nice.
you get some people that are freaked over it. I'm just going to mention it. One night we did it's a cut card. No, it's about 10-15 minute drive for you. We've been there a few times. It's a beautiful place. But one night we encountered this rude ghost, for want of a better word. But we're getting told to F you, F off. Sarah get called a two-faced bitch.
My.
And you think, well, debunk that one.
Yeah. It's so like Wimmering Manor. So Wimmering Manor is
horrible guy called Edward there, isn't it?
Yeah. We won't say too much because we are actually there 19th February. We actually have a ghost hunt with some guests there, so we won't tell you too much about it. But when I put the spirit box on, and if I'm in the room, it will go Rosie, bitch, and I'm like, right, okay, I'm just gonna leave you two. I'm gonna leave the room, but spirit, stay here and communicate with these guys.
Oh, and doesn't it?
And it will do. It will do.
And people pick up on his name who've never even been there.
Yeah. Yeah. It is an interesting place.
That's one of the things that amazes me about the paranormal, and it's a kind of, I don't like using the word, but it's like a kind of drug at times.
Yes, it's addictive.
When you start to get the voices, maybe the cat ball going off and what have you, and our biggest capture, I would say, was I call her a whispering lady. I was at the estate, and it was right next to me, and it never came through the app, and I heard it. The rest of the team heard a sharp intake of breath at the same time as I heard this woman.
Right.
I was the only one that heard the woman, and it was right there.
Yeah, like a telephone.
I was right next to me. And
brilliant.
So we played it back, and we couldn't work out what she was saying. We thought it was Latin. But I gave it to Jim Martin, who's the head of the Spirit Realm Network in America, and he broke it all down. And he came back to me and he says, she's actually asking you, is your light better now?
What? Right, okay.
He says, we can watch your footage. He says, just before you hear the voice, you move your EMF meter and it goes to red. Now, I'd been sitting beside the meter for about 10-15 minutes, and then nothing happened. But then it just went to red. So I moved it over a bit, and it went to red. He says, it lights up again because you move it. She says, and then she asks, is your light better now?
Yeah.
So it's like she knew you from a past time, and she just wanted to know.
And we get quite a lot of captures. Andy Murphy was in the chat. He broke a clip down for us. He gave us 20 or 22 individual files. We done a live on it, and it was like we never heard any of it. But it was right. There was a man and a woman, and the woman was telling the man, they can see you.
Wow.
And
brilliant.
Basically be quiet. And there was 2 or 3 kids there. Every time we went, we always picked up my kids. we picked up on a dominant female. We called her the matron because we couldn't,
Right.
obviously didn't have a name, and there was always two males there. That we felt it was two there, and he says, "No, she's telling them they can see you." And
Brilliant.
Wow.
That's awesome.
so it was like, it sounds stupid, but it was like the two of them were having a debate, an
Yeah.
argument when
And
we were there.
And you're just
Yeah.
kind of capturing all that in one moment. That's
And
awesome.
it's all getting picked up, because we got a lot of evidence there, and I sent it to I sent it about 11 different people. I told them nothing. I says, look, listen or watch this and come back to me and tell me what you think. And they all came back. We got Charlie for the Haunted Hunts and Mandy Cummings from Ghost Sisters. They sent me back these videos and I put them up on the channel.
Yeah.
Tell me their findings. But it's when you get stuff like that you can't debunk, you can't explain. And it ties in with what you're asking or what you're doing. And you think, well, it's paranormal.
Yeah.
It's like when you're capturing pictures, videos and orbs and mists and stuff like that. But when you have physical voices going on in your ear and you know that everyone's counted for, and you just know when you know.
I was in Manor Farm, and I had one of my colleagues explain how the equipment works at the end of the alleyway, and I heard something go, "Sarah," right in my ear, and I ran at him like a dark horse, and it scared me that much because it was like it was right in my ear. And especially it's happened a few times at night where I've had a family member speaking to me in my ear. I come downstairs white as a ghost saying, "I've just had your auntie in my ear," and it's just, they seem to get you when you're in two worlds or when you're not expecting it. And you can hear it because it's right in your ear roll. Like you're on a phone.
Always when you don't expect it, and that gives you the kind of,
gives you the willies.
It does.
Some people get the scaredy buzz, but other people go, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Really buzzing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we run to it or we run away from it.
I never run away.
We skip into the dark.
We skip into the dark, off we go, la la la, and then pout it back out.
Is that abuse? It seems that the spirits attach themselves to the land. I believe they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
There is, again, there's many different theories out there about land and buildings and, again, objects.
Stone tape
theory, like I said earlier, is one theory that I do strongly believe, that if Aunt Peg did her washing on a Wednesday, you're going to capture that in moment on a Wednesday. It may not happen every Wednesday, but it will be there in that land. It may not even be a building anymore. It could be, like you said, just land or field. But if there was a house there, and I believe that something happened there, and they want to play that memory to you.
Well, if you go to work every day, if you're dead, why would you not go to work anyway? You would go to work, wouldn't you, just to see what everyone's doing?
Yeah. And I've got a lot of people to go and haunt after, guys. So I'll be going here, there, and everywhere.
If you get a list, I'll just answer it. No, it's not abuse, Stephen. It's
that's just a covering.
I'm too cool, actually. Well, I had a drink at New Year. The bells were a drink in here with Laura and her husband, and I kind of went overboard, as you do,
Why?
But that's not that I don't drink. But no, I believe spirits, they attach themselves to the land, as you say. It could be a memory, it could be unfinished business,
A dramatic death.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just suddenly pulled out of this life, or it could be a place where they felt most happiest in the physical life, and they don't want to leave it. And this is when you hear, you might get a brand new supermarket or something to say, well, that new Morrison's is haunted, and people will say, can it be haunted? It's just been built.
It's brand new.
Oh,
no, we go the land.
One of my bakers, and where I used to work, he had an apron. He had someone undo his apron from behind, and he thought it was one of the other bakers. And he come down, and he's really quite serious. And he says, "You'll never believe what's just happened to me. Someone was just tugging at the back of my apron, not attached to anything." And he says, "I don't want to tell anybody but you, sir, because I know that you believe me." He goes, "But I am really shit up back there because something's tugging at my apron."
One of the places I used to work in was haunted. It was a steakhouse, and the kitchen was down the bottom. And after service at night, you're cleaning down and what have you. and there was either end of the kitchen there was a swing doors. You know, there was one night I was in the kitchen myself, and the manageress was up in the bar, and I heard the swing door opening, and so I looked because I thought, you know, the lassie came down the stairs. There was nobody there, but the door was swinging.
Wow.
I went up the stairs and I says to her, I says, "Did you come down?" She says, "No, I've no moved for the bar."
Oh.
And that happened twice to me when I was doing the kitchen myself. You would hear the door and you look at it and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
One of the girls in the work behind the bar says that one night she was there and she looked up and saw two little boys standing just along for the kind of bar area, just two young boys. And then
And she's probably thinking, you know, what the hell, are they actually two little boys? Where are their parents?
Yeah.
Or, you know, but then it's just like, again, like I said, you know when you know there's something there.
Mhm.
And it can be creepy. It can be.
It's not always like, it's always when you go ghost hunting, people say, "Oh, it's someone from the 1940s." No, people die every day. It could be some
someone from yesterday.
motorcyclist that flipping fell off his bike and died, or
Yeah.
someone who works in a pub.
You know, Laura's saying Scotch tea told me the day he did drinking under the table. That's she'll no live that down. I did. Laura likes her wine. You know, she's not
Oh.
but that particular night, I did drink her under the table and up the other side. You know, it was a good one. But as you say, it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody who's died 300-400 years ago.
No, yeah.
It could be somebody who died yesterday and
Yeah.
just suddenly realised that they've went.
Balloons are a good one as well. You used a balloon, didn't you?
I use balloons sometimes, so I'll make sure obviously I put a balloon where there's no like draft, like so I won't put it near a doorway or a window. It'll be somewhere like on the middle of a bed, say, and obviously have a camera on it. And we've had the balloon come up just slightly, just a little bit, and just move
Walk
to one
itself
side
out.
and walk itself around. And again, that's just simple. 25p pack of balloons from Tesco's,
Yeah,
and it's effective.
it is.
And sometimes nothing happens, but why not use it? It's a trigger object,
Especially for children.
For
They love a
children.
balloon, don't they?
Yeah, and it's an offering, so I keep them there. I leave them there for them.
It's something we've tried. We last year we bought a compass. We tried it once, never get any joy. But we're going to keep trying it, you know. Just but we also we got a bit of clothesline, and we cut up a t-shirt into strips, and we tied the strips onto the clothesline.
Right.
We tried it once, but when I hung it up, there wasn't any breeze. But the draft came, so it didn't work. So that whole idea is, you get the clothesline up, you get the bits of material hanging down, and you put a lighted candle underneath.
Right.
And so if the material moves and the candle still burns through, you know it's not a draft.
It's not a draft because the candle light would go out.
Yeah.
Because the candle would
Perfect.
go out, or the flame would flicker.
Yep.
And that was an old t-shirt and a bit of 3-4 meter clothesline.
Bit clothesline.
We'd have to check the insurance
Perfect.
policy on that one if we're.
Some of our locations we can't have candles.
Yeah, we might not. We
But
had
on the
that
ghost
one.
walks, we
Yeah,
can.
we can.
But that's it. You know, I mean, I'm not a big tech fan. We've got our various bits and pieces as used to. But I've talked to Mark Edgerton and to Tim Johnson, what have you, and Barry Frankish as well. Going old school. Simple wee things like a compass, a bit of rope, a bit of material. Flour.
Yeah.
Flour.
Marbles.
You know, it can all be used to get evidence.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I think old school methods are harder to debunk.
Yes. Yeah, because electronic, you've got the scientific side that, yes, you can try and debunk, you can try and recreate. And it's like with the cat balls, we've had at Fort Widley, you've got halfway down, you've got these big set of spiral stairs, and it's a big round circle. We tend to start off there, don't we? So we have all of our guests standing around it, and we will place cat balls all in random different places, all around in that area, because we know they were going to go off. Again, different nights, so they may go off, but we know they're there. They will go off. And we've had men on the floor blowing the cat ball like here, and it's not gone off, but the one opposite's gone off. And he's like, "Well, how's that happen?" I said, "That's the unexplained."
No, give it a little tap.
You give it a little tap and it'll go off. So he knows it's working. We'll swap the cat balls around to make sure none are dodgy. or we'll put new ones down. And again, they're back on the floor, they're blowing it, they're trying to jump next to it really, really hard. They can't set it off. But what set the one off on the other side?
Exactly. We've done just 2 seconds. I'll just get this comment. Stephen's saying the Winchester House, and we've done a couple of lives.
Oh, she just
Yes.
kept building and building on top of that, didn't she?
Yeah,
Love to do that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Stephen, when you go, we're coming.
If you check out the Spirit Realm Network, Jim Martin on the Spirit Realm Network, he's doing something with the Winchester House
Oh,
now. So Stephen, check that Spirit Realm Network, Jim Martin.
we'll have to
he's
check that one
doing
out.
Yeah.
a
Love
thing
that.
at the Winchester House. But no, as you say, the cat balls, we've got 3 or 4 of them, and I've threw them across graveyards, and they've not went off.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had the same. You know, one will go off, and the other one will know. And even, I mean, we done a closed off experiment, and here one night we set the camera up, and I put a cat ball on top of a cushion. The cats picked out and went to bed. You know, the doors were all shut, and we just let the camera run. About 6 minutes into the footage, watch it back, the cat ball goes off,
Yeah.
and it's sitting on a cushion, and there's nothing.
And no one's around. There's no draft. Because if it was a draft, it wouldn't be. Or it could be intermittent. So if there was a draft, say every 20 seconds, that cat would go off every 20 seconds with the draft. And if it's gone off, well, like you said, it went off so many minutes, and then it went off.
That's it. I just went
How's
up.
that happen?
What makes that go? Even the likes of K2 meter. I know a lot of people. I can't get rid of this. I've had this cough for about 2 weeks. It's no COVID. I've done my test.
You've got
Oh,
COVID.
bless you. So we can't share germs this way.
No, you're safe. You're safe. But the K2 meter. No, a lot of people debunk it, and it is. You know, you can. We've done it ourselves. You know, if you've been near your phone or whatever. But it's when you've got a K2 meter sitting dormant, maybe 10, 15 minutes in the same position, and nobody's moved. And then you say, can you, I call it a box. Because I always think, if you maybe get a spirit that lived maybe 15, 16, they might not know what a device is. So
Exactly. But we don't say cat ball. We just say that little plastic ball on the floor, that little thing that's flashing.
Basic and simple, you know.
Yeah.
And if you say, if you touch that, can you make it go to yellow, and it goes to yellow, and then it goes away again? You can't debunk that.
No,
you know,
definitely not
on demand.
There's no. I mean, I call it the smoking ghost. I had a smoking ghost one night.
Brilliant.
I was in an abandoned power station. We've been a few times, and we've been up the stairs and that. We came down the stairs. We were going to go round the back. So I'm going to have a cigarette before I go round the back. And I had the K2 meter sitting on the step, on the stair. So just as a joke, I says, if there's anybody here, you like a cigarette, make that box go to yellow. And it went to yellow.
It was a cigarette.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Just to confirm, make it go to yellow again if you want a cigarette. And it went to yellow.
Perfect. You can't deny the activity of that.
Yeah.
It's a specific question. You've done it twice. The same question.
Another good question is ask them if they want a cup of tea. Yeah.
Fancy a brew?
Fancy a brew,
and some bourbon biscuits.
Yeah, that's always a good question.
It's simple, you know, and I say I'll put it down in the stair for you. Do you want me to put it? And it went to you. I says, right. I said, we're going to go now. I says, there's your cigarette. We'll leave you to it. I says, you're going to say thank you. You see, if you make it go to yellow, if you're going to say, and it went to yellow.
Perfect.
Wow.
Brilliant.
And I never went back to take the fag. I just left the cigarette there anyway. But it was just a simple spur of the moment, you know. Anybody want a fag? And the box lights up.
Yeah.
That box.
It is, and it's you've got to think, obviously, like we all said just a minute ago, it may not be somebody from the Victorian age or the Tudor stage that you've spoken to. It could be somebody from yesterday. So
yeah, it could be children.
Just offering something that the period all, you know, across the people were spoken from however years ago to until now. How many knows what a cup of tea is? Or
we asked Don Styler if he wanted a rum and coke because that was his favourite drink. And the K2s were going off.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, they say, you know, obviously spirit like people who smoke, it's a physical thing, you know. But if you get a guy that smoked all his life and then he passes, he'll still retain the memories of him smoking. It's like the film. I know a lot of people laugh at this, but it's like the film Ghost.
He was dying for a
He was
fag.
dying for a
Right.
fag.
Dying for a fag.
Yeah.
I remember that line, and you think, well, who's to say it's not like that?
Yeah.
You know, if it's this memory, I used to smoke and what have you, and he smoked, I would, I would kill for a cigarette or whatever.
Yeah, food would be an issue with me.
Oh yeah, I would be food all day long.
Yeah,
anything food.
Watching people cooking and stuff. Like, oh.
Slimer out of Ghostbusters, you mean?
Yeah, that'll be me.
Who watched that? Who watched the one with Melissa McCarthy the other night? That's quite good. I love her.
Yes.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
No, don't nod at that one.
Oh, it's
you got to
good.
scrub that one out.
It
the new
good.
one, the new Ghostbusters sit correct
with
next
Paul
to the
Rudd.
last three.
With Paul Rudd.
Yes.
I
loved
liked
it.
that one, but no, I'm a big Melissa McCarthy fan. I think she's amazing.
funny. Yeah.
It was good. It was obviously, yeah, it was never going to be the original Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters film, and obviously the
it was a
Afterlife
spin-off,
film.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was funny,
but yeah, you're expecting Ghostbusters,
you got
and you're expecting
the original white Ghostbusters, haven't you?
Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
what do you want?
No.
You could do that better.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
You can't.
I love it.
I mean, I've seen that original, I don't know how many times. Same as everybody else who's probably watched Ghostbusters and when they came out, everybody bought the fire station and the Echo one or Eco one called and all the bits and pieces.
I learned all I needed to learn from Dr. Venkman.
Yeah.
I loved them. Still do, big fan. And they got the dogs in there as well. Made up with that.
Slimer, that's who it was. I used to be like Slimer Munchkin, but Egon. It was Egon. He's no longer.
Egon, the one that died. Yeah, and then he come back.
Life. I was crying.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Really pulled at your heartstrings on that one.
It did.
It does. It's kind of sad. It's like, I mean, we're getting way off the paranormal, but who cares? This is what happens in our life. It was like, we heard that a few weeks ago that Gunther for Friends had died.
So what was that?
Gunther. Friends.
Yes. Yep.
The guy who worked in it. Surely you know who Gunther is.
Yeah.
We found out a few weeks ago he'd passed away.
Yeah, he did.
And was watching the Friends reunion the other night.
Yeah.
I'm a big Friends fan.
Yeah.
I'm actually that bad. I can tell you the scripts.
I like. I never really watched Friends because I was born in 1991, so growing up it wasn't something obviously that I kind of started watching, but it was late teens, early 20s. That's when I then started watching it, and I'm like, I can watch it over and over and over again and still not get bored and still laugh.
That's what I've done.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Chandler. It'll be Chandler. In the reunion, they showed a small video clip of Gunther, saying hello and what have you. And you're sitting
blonde hair.
No, I think he had a hat on, I think.
Yeah, because he had cancer, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I was just sitting watching that one wee clip and thinking, obviously it was filmed some time ago. You think he's no longer ways, and it was quite, it was quite sad. I dare say he's kicking about.
Yeah.
I dare say he's still, kicking about. But it was weird seeing all the Friends, because it was like 17 years or something since he stopped taking it. And I know some of them have done well, some have done okay. Matthew Perry, he's not done so great, There's Stephen with another, who's got be a big. It's fine. I love
be any bigger Friends fan. I love it.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Could I be wearing more clothes? I love that. And you got to do the Chandler dance as well.
I've tried doing the Chandler dance. I'm not great at it. I will admit. I'm not fantastic at it. I love Chandler. I think Chandler is about my kind of favourite. And Joey and Phoebe, they really gelled together because they both of them were just,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh.
Yeah.
in a good way. Basically,
Yes.
I like the girlfriend of Chandler. Chandler.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What's
Oh,
her name?
Janice, aye.
Janice.
Janice, she was on the reunion.
She
Yes.
was, yeah.
And she didn't look any different.
She doesn't.
No.
And Ross and Rachel got it on in real life.
Aye, that was a bit of a shocker.
They bumped
Yes.
uglies.
They bumped uglies.
Aye, you know, it wasn't just the soil that get done. You know what I mean? But I had to, Ross and Rachel were that close in the series that something had to happen behind the camera. Listen to us, we're on for a paranormal camp.
I know. We were
Talk
on
about
a break. We was on a break.
But I think the only one that's no changed a lot is Ross.
Yes. No.
No.
Just just a little bit older, but
Bit
not
grayer.
changed. Yeah.
His
Not
face has
changed
got a
at
bit longer.
Matt I can never pronounce his second. Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
He's just get fatter.
Yes. Bigger
Yeah.
and grayer.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I'm a big Formula One fan, and he goes to the Grand Prix quite a wee bit.
Yes.
So I've seen Joey kicking about the paddock. You
Yeah.
know, an American one and Monaco and stuff. You see him popping up every now and again. See this
Yeah.
Joey. This Joey at the Grand Prix.
Do you think, obviously, that's the problem? Obviously, they're never going to really be called. If I saw one of them in real life, I would never call their names. It would be, it's Joey at the Friends. Like,
Aye.
and it's just like, you've lost your
You-
lost
you-
your identity,
You've
haven't you?
stolen one of their catchphrases, haven't you? Well, Matt LeBlanc's catchphrase is Rosie never shares food.
I never share food.
She doesn't share food.
Rosie doesn't share food.
However,
We're at a big dinner table party and I don't share food.
Paranormal and Friends. That's quite right. But you pick up these wee sayings like Joey's other one, Grandma's chicken salad.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
As you say, you see these people in different films. Like Matthew Perry, The Whole 9 Yards. Jennifer Aniston's making the second part of that Murder Weekend or something with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
That. But Phoebe, no matter what you see them in, there'll always be Phoebe and
Yeah.
Ross.
They've got a legacy, haven't they?
Yeah.
You don't say, or David Schwimmer's in this. You say Ross is in this.
Yeah, Ross out of Friends is in that. It's
Did they have an emotional attachment towards their filming area? They were all crying when they're in there because they spent so much time there, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's actually the last episode of Friends I read when they made it, and the tears that you see are actual audio tears.
Yeah.
Because they were all that upset. It was the very last episode, and it was 10 years. They say they finished it up because they took the characters as far as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done everything
That's
with them.
the thing, wasn't it? It was Chandler and Monica was going to move. They've got their twins.
Yeah.
Rachel was going to Paris, and Emma was going out with her mum. God bless Emma, for her mum's ears. But she was doing that. Phoebe was obviously doing this and that. Obviously
They
getting
had
married to
stuff
Paul
going on
Rudd.
in real life as well, didn't they? I think
Yeah.
Courtney Cox was trying to have some more babies because she lost a few, I think. So they had a lot going on, didn't they? They're at the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was no more.
There was
no
no
more.
more funniness that they could. David Schwimmer's that was a good film, buddy. I've
Yes,
seen that
brilliant
film.
film.
Yeah.
I always thought the one thing I felt sorry for Joey because he never get married. He never
No.
found,
Love.
'cause he did say all through the seasons that he'd like to find that special someone,
Yeah.
but he never ever, Phoebe get married to Mike and what have you. So
Yeah.
the rest of them all settled down.
Yeah.
But Joey was kind of left.
Oh, he did a
And
spin-off series, didn't he?
Aye,
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah, it didn't
I
take
think
off.
it lasted 2 seasons or something. I watched
Yeah.
it, but it just didn't. It didn't have the same kick.
No.
They harm to Matt. It just didn't have the same kick as Friends. I think everybody expected it to be as big as Friends, but obviously, but I mean, I was reading it, listening to the facts, and it says Friends has been watched over 100 billion times.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's something you whack on when you're like
That's
bored
100
or
times
something,
of
isn't
me
it?
when I get back from a ghost hunt. I want something light-hearted, and
Yeah.
I tend to switch on Friends on Netflix,
Yeah.
and then about 10 minutes later, I'm asleep.
Yeah. Or Big Bang
But
Theory, you like that.
Big
don't
Bang
you?
Theory, I love. Yeah.
You want to
I
just
used to- I
come
used to-
down from the ghosty stuff.
Yes.
So
I
yeah.
know I'll come in and watch a horror film or a ghost show or something.
Pardon?
I'll come in and watch a horror film or a ghost
Oh
show.
my! You carry the party on then.
Aye,
You're hardcore. You carry the party on.
aye.
Aye.
I keep going and going. No, that wasn't much. No, was it? Talk about serious joy. No, I'll come in and stick on,
Yeah.
a ghost show or one of the crappy ghost shows, just
Yeah.
to not to cheer myself up, but you need that kind of.
You need that, like, you should have seen what I've just done and witnessed. Like,
Aye.
yeah, you want to kind of like, I'm there, I'm better. You're not better, but you just want to go,
I'm in that category.
I'm in that category.
Yeah.
I've just witnessed this. Yeah, I can do better.
And so you want to come home and you want to watch some cabbage screaming because somebody threw a stone behind the camera. And it's really, I mean, that's what gets me. It's bad enough that these shows fake it, but some of the extent they'll go to, it actually insults your intelligence.
Yes.
It's
like with our guests, I always say to him, and you as well,
Yeah.
we would rather you have a complete dead night
Yeah.
than you think that we faked something.
No, we're honest.
We are honest, and we have had
I
dead
know
nights.
we mess about in the beginning, like jump out on each other.
Jump
but
up on each other.
when it comes down to the nitty gritty and the serious
and
stuff,
the guests have turned
and the
up.
guests to turn up, we don't mess about.
Completely changed. We'll have a laugh and giggle.
Yeah. But we don't fake nothing.
No.
Not
Definitely
at all. What we're about.
And that's why our guest keeps returning to us.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of our guests that keep returning.
You're honest.
Yeah.
I've seen that many a time, and I've seen this to Danny Moss as well. That's how you know a genuine team.
Yeah.
When they turn around and say, "We've got nothing.
Yeah.
We've been here X amount of time, and we don't have anything."
We do a wash up at the end of the night. So if we've got like two teams, because like tomorrow night we've got 20 guests, so I think we'll probably run with like two teams,
different locations,
and two
so
different
split into
locations,
3 locations.
Yep. And we will rotate those locations, so we'll have so many time in this and that, and then at the end we will come back together. And if we've got nothing, we will say, and then this happened, nothing. So I'm not gonna. You can't fake it.
But then some of the stuff, they all get the same names and the same things they've picked up on the Ouija board or on the ghost box, or something moved here in this room, and it all sort of adds up to the historian. If we know a little bit of information about the place, who was in that sale or whatnot, just for an example, say, and it'll all add up, and sometimes the evidence that we collaborated matches up with the history of the place.
That's exactly it. That's what happened at Caldwell. Whereas Laura will tell you, Gail as well, she's still in the chat. The names we get through were like John Muir, and Caldwell was originally built by the Muir family.
Right.
And there was a member of the family called John.
Oh,
there was also somebody else called James. So it's when you get these names, and then as you say, you can look back and say, right, is there any truth? I mean, we got a name in here one night. We done an investigation on a live, and we get the name John Cunningham.
Yeah.
And it was clear as a bell. I thought, well, who's John Cunningham? So we done a bit of digging, pardon the pun, and we found out that where we live, there used to be a small miners. Kilmarnock's a big mining town. Well, it used to be, and there's about a quarter of a mile away, used to be a small village called Peace of Plenty, and it's where the miners lived. But there was a man who kind of overseen the area. He didn't own it. He was just kind of like in charge. His name is John Cunningham.
Wow. So he was still rocking around and making himself known.
Could be coincidence. It could be people say, "Oh, that's just coincidence." But to get that name, especially where the house is, and it's close to where the cottages. It's a garden centre now. I'm getting back quite a few years. But he was the sort of big chief here, John Cunningham.
Right.
Do you,
Awesome.
do you remember when we was in Victoria Country Park and we was at we was in the graves? Well, we had a load of French come through on the ghost box.
Yep.
And right where we were stood were the graves of the French men.
Yeah. So we've got Royal Victoria Country Park, which is where Florence Nightingale,
Lady with the lamp.
with the Lady of the Lamp, was. So you had, it comes right into Southampton waters, and they used to be brought on the boats up through the path, and you're at Victoria Country Park
Massive
Hospital.
military graveyard there with
Yep.
people from Canada, India, all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a location where you can walk at night time, and your footsteps are not the only ones.
Marching down that great big
There
walk.
is. I've done walks there at 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's dark. And me and my partner and both of us have kind of went, do you hear those footsteps behind us following? You turn around, there's no one there.
A lot of people see the white lady as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a grey lady up in the tower, because they've still got part. So the hospital itself
Burnt
is
down.
now gone, but you've still got the chapel, and you can still go up the tower of the chapel, and go inside. You can go during the day, and you can obviously do ghost hunts there as well. And then you go about a 10-minute walk out of the country park, and then you've then got the graves.
Military graves, but you've got to go down a long dark pathway,
And you've got
and there's
these
been a man
big
with a
ditches.
tall man with a big tall hat's been seen there as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
It
banging
sounds
about doing.
really kind of peaceful. I mean, when you hear footsteps, there's a castle, it's about half an hour drive, Dunure Castle. We've done it a few times, and every time we went, there's a small gravel path runs along the side of it. We've heard footsteps. Laurel back is up, so will you. You hear footsteps on this gravel path.
Yeah.
And we're just on the other side of there's just a wall separates us from the path. And there's no windows or doors, so you can see. And it's a big, huge, massive field surrounds this castle. So it's not if somebody's walking by. And every time we went, we've heard the footsteps on the gravel.
God, that's brilliant.
Brilliant, isn't it?
I love hearing footsteps.
But you still go with your torch, even though you know there's nobody there. You still go with the torch.
Yeah.
You still hunt about.
Hello, hello, and it's like no reply. Footsteps have stopped. Okay, it can't be a bird, can't be a cat. It's too heavy for that.
The biggest thing I had with footsteps was the abandoned power station. I'd done it with one of our ex-team members. We'd done it as a live, and the two of us heard two distinct shuffling footsteps on the top level of this place. We were on a live, and 3 people in the chat heard it as well.
Right.
So a couple of weeks later, I took an independent team. I says, look, I want you to come along here. We'll not investigate. You investigate and tell me what you find. And as soon as they went up the top level, one of the girls says, did you hear that? I says, what did you hear? She says, 2 footsteps.
Oh.
She'd never been before, and I'd never told her. I said, I'm telling you nothing about the place.
She picked up it. Yeah.
And she says, I heard 2 footsteps. So that was like
Brilliant.
5 people. Sorry, my maths is crap. 6. 6 people heard the same 2 shuffling footsteps.
Brilliant.
And we heard, I was just got a one up. We heard it, it wasn't repeating itself, it was just once, but 6 people, 3 in chat.
Yeah.
We heard them as well. You can't, it's amazing, isn't it? You cannot.
It is. Yeah. It is definitely. It's like when we go on ghost hunts with the guests. And like we just said, obviously, about Women Manor, we won't say too much about it because obviously we're going there. So we want our guests, obviously, like Sarah said,
experience.
Yeah, we know background. We know a small background history of what happens. So if anything does pick up on what we know, we can tell you. If we don't know, we'll go and do our homework and find out about it and let the guests know privately, so we don't put it out on the internet. So no new people that comes to the next location next time, they can't research it. And I think that's the best way to be, because it's like you perfectly said, their experience in it. We want them to tell us what's going on.
They're the investigators for the night. We just put them in the right places and give them the right tools.
Off you go, guys.
I took another couple of people down to this place, and I drove down, and I didn't even tell them where we were going. I just says, we've investigated here before. The girl in the car, she's she's a kind of, I'm not sure if you call her a medium or no, but on the way down, she was saying, was there an accident there? She says, there was an accident there, wasn't there? I says, aye. I said, that's what I'm telling you.
Yep.
There was some kind of accident at some point. She was spot on. But when we go there, the guy we were with, he was giving it, oh, this is demonic, and the old demonic label. And I've been there about 5 or 6 times, all different times, day and night. I've never felt anything demonic. I love going to the place. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
He was like, it's demonic. You can't come back here. I'm like, okay.
I've got next week planned.
I went back next week, and he was saying, I told you not to get back. I don't care. I'll go where I want.
Yeah.
But when we go there, it was a mining accident, and it was a mining accident at this place. But he picked up demons and stuff. The girl, she picked up with a couple of things that we'd already picked up on,
Right.
which was kind of hard to kind of debunk. Karen's got a question for you ladies called the Red Line Pub in Aylesbury.
No, I haven't, but I actually read something about Aylesbury the other day. Actually, I think it might have been last night. So that's the second time I've heard the location Aylesbury. Is it where's it? Some beginning with B, isn't it? I've always wanted to go there. Now I really do want to go there, but no, I haven't. So
Proven Demons haven't done that, have they? I'm not sure. I think I saw something about, or did they do the Rams Inn? I think they did the Rams Inn.
Ancient Ram Inn.
Yeah,
yeah. But no, yes, and I think there is a Red Lion pub in Southampton, which is also said to have a lot of activity going on. It's a very tiny pub.
Really would love to do a pub.
Mm.
What's that big one in That's not big. In Winchester, it's the oldest pub in Winchester where a witch got hung.
So you've got the Eclipse, it's a little tiny one. So you've got the Eclipse, and you've got now you've put me on the spot now.
Jailhouse as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
that is now Witherspoons. They're always Witherspoons, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. But there's so many places in Winchester. Obviously, they're all pubs and clubs.
Yeah,
but they are packed with history. Again, 643, year 643, I believe it was when Winchester was the capital. So you think all of that time, all the Roman times, the history that you've got there. I would love to just dig and find stuff and then hold it and then see what I feel of the history of that person who last held that coin or that bit of clothing or anything of an object who last held that bit of pottery. I'm a dork when it comes to time team.
Should be stealing it and put it in a doll.
Well, it's absolutely fascinating. The oldest pub in England is the Old Trip. In Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nottingham.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that obviously all these places. Yeah, the old Trip to Jerusalem in Nottingham. I'll have to check this out.
Knights of the Round Table went as well in London. I think it's in the outskirts of London. There was the Knights of the Round Table that used to go there.
I know you've got the Round Table in Winchester.
We done Sherwood Forest last year.
How was it? Because I really want to do Sherwood Forest.
It was amazing. It was GSI. They're on Paraflix, and they were filming it part of season 2 for the Halloween special. So we asked us to go down and appear in it.
Nice.
And we went down, but it's some size.
I was gonna say it's massive.
There'll be some Blair Witch shit going down in there, wouldn't there? Definitely. If you start running, where the hell would you go?
We met them at the car park, and because obviously we drove down for here, and we met them at the car park, and we says to Ralph, one of the co-founders, right, says everybody's in the forest, we're all set up, and he says it's about a 10-minute walk. I think he get the word minute mixed up with the word mile.
You had your boots on.
Sorry. I didn't realise it was a bit. You hear Sherwood Forest, Robin Hood, all the blah blah blah. But I didn't realise the big. But it was an amazing night. I done my first ever Ouija board.
Oh, nice. What better place to start a first Ouija board?
Well, it was actually an agreement I made with you for GSI on it quite a lot of times, and we're quite close to them. And I says to them, well, look, if we ever meet up, if I says to John, one of the co-founders, if you drink a can of Iron Brew, I'll do a Ouija board, because he hates it. He's never tried it, but he says
I remember you saying last time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, we went and we took there's
Brilliant.
a wee bit of footage up on our Facebook page. We filmed them doing it, you know,
Brilliant.
but I forgot to tell them how gassy it is.
Oh yes.
And so he drank, get the guy his due, he drank the Iron Brew, says, right, and I says, right, let's have a go at this Ouija board. I only done it for about 10 minutes, but I felt it quite calming.
It is. It's not as scary as people think out. I think the Ouija board has such a reputation.
Yeah.
Same as like locations, they have a reputation, and it's people think like, you know, is it going to live up to its name? Is the devil going to come out and get me? Is the door going to be open? It's not going to be closed down properly.
As long as you say goodbye and close it down properly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, he saw Iron Brew in a supermarket. And I said, that's well travelled, isn't it? Iron Brew.
That-
Yeah,
You've made it.
You got to put some whiskey in it. That's proper Scottish, that is.
Aye, I know. That's well travelled. But Sherwood Forest ladies definitely go. You know.
Can you sleep there? Like camp out there?
I think you can camp, but we drove down, done the investigation, and we just drove back
Right.
on the kind of one go. I get done for speeding.
You got done for speeding.
Aye. Done for
That was
the road
awful.
between Scotch Corn and Penrith. This was about half two. It was one of these cameras.
Oh no.
I was, aye, but we hear this. The limit on a camera is 45 mile an hour. I was doing 46.
Oh,
Really?
They done me for 1 mile an hour. I get the letter.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I went to a lawyer. I'm like, no chance. You know,
no,
Jeez.
they will.
That's awful. I just call them piggy banks.
1 mile an hour you get done for.
Yeah. they
Whereas
will.
you could have said that, you know, your speeder might be slightly out and it be you say you were doing 45.
So you sneezed and your foot went down.
Yeah.
Stopped at Southway. Just to stop here, have an hour or two sleep, and I ended up about 3 hours or something, didn't it? And then I get a letter through for the parking folk at Southway. They're doing me because I was over the 2 hour limit.
All
Hey,
these
you know,
places. It's
They're trying to find me,
awful.
so I'm telling them to get stuffed. You know, I'm not paying a you know, because I
Oh
went.
no,
No,
it'll go up.
exactly.
It'll go up. If you don't pay it early, they'll end up taking you to court and all that. And it'll
Honestly.
get bigger and bigger.
Good luck finding me. I'll put them on the list.
Oh, brilliant.
But Sherwood Forest, I loved it. Absolutely, we were there for I don't know, 4 or 5 hours or something.
We
And
do
done-
that.
We'll have to.
And,
It's summertime, maybe.
Yeah,
Get a
definitely.
tent up.
Got a 6-man tent.
done the Ouija board, the cat balls, the headphones, all sorts of different bits and pieces. And
Nice.
they sent it off into different parts of the forest and that because it was pitch black, you know. But absolutely loved every minute. And we're going to get back down with them and meet back up with them. They're coming up here this year. They promised they're coming up here this year.
Nice.
But we did say we'd love to get back down to Sherwood Forest and do it again.
We'll have to try and meet up during the summer then.
Yeah.
Aye,
Halfway
definitely.
for us all.
Aye, definitely. Can I meet halfway or something? You know, we're
Yeah.
planning back to Pendo as well.
Yeah, Pendle Hill,
Oh,
definitely.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's massive. We
it
got, we
is.
There's a
done
bed and
14.
breakfast right on the edge as well. We could stay there.
I got a big comment to put up, ladies.
Oh, hello. Okay. Have you been to Bluebird Hill? It's not a joke. It's no joke. Something occurred there. I've experienced an absolute unbelievable amount there without knowing where I was until my brother-in-law told me afterwards. We were driving down the road on the wrong side. He drove to the roundabout and changed sides. What he didn't know was we were on the first side. I felt the strangest, saddest feeling of death. Like I just went over someone's grave. My whole body went cold as I visioned someone had died there. Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's a part on the motorway where I feel like that as well. Every time I walk past, sometimes you do get that eerie feeling that something's happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
like that. Like, is it Anthony? Sorry, was his name? Anthony. Yeah. Like he's just said that, like you've gone over something and you just get that
Yeah.
shiver.
Feel like something's gone through you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it can
And
happen.
that's, have you been? So that's Bluebird Hill. I'm not sure where that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I can relate to
Please
what
let
he's
us know.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, as
definitely.
you go off to Bournemouth, you know, as you join that big long road up to Bournemouth, as you go to Ringwood, I feel like that there's something every time I go past on the right hand side that something massive's happened there. I get that eerie feeling.
We're not too far down from there as a plague pit.
Oh, I don't know. What, on the
You know,
motorway?
yeah.
Really?
But yeah, you come off the motorway, you go through Burwood.
Oh.
You know, when I go to that Knowlton church,
Yeah.
that's a plague pit there. It's
Oh.
not too far from there.
Ooh.
So that, don't know if that's
No.
connected. It's one of the most haunted spots in England. Oh, we'll have to check one out. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you for Anthony. I mean, I've got a theory about that as well. I've spoken this the last couple of lives. When you think back in history, the amount of people that have lived in the UK, right, you're talking millions.
Yeah.
They've got to be buried somewhere.
Yes.
So to me, I reckon there's everywhere you go. It's a bit like the Greyfriar thing, you know. Just matter where you walk, you're walking over a grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's the same here. These
Yeah.
people, you talk about millions and millions upon millions of people.
Yeah.
They've got to be buried somewhere, as I say. So who's to say that they're no right underneath us?
Yeah,
So it's possible when you're walking and you get that, you know, as you used to say, that shivery feeling walking over my grave. But you're actually walking over somebody's grave.
Yeah. Or if you've gone through a massive accident that was there and you feel like someone's gone, you're driving, yet you feel like you're going through something. Or that area. Yeah, that something dramatic's happened there. Yeah, you get the willies, don't you?
What you actually pick up or what you can feel. You normally wouldn't feel.
Yeah.
You know, got a voice in your head or, you know, whatever. I mean, I had to be years and years ago before the seatbelt law came in. I never ever wore a seatbelt, and I used to drive down south every day. And one day I came out of Carlisle and I parked in a lay-by my brake, and I was heading back up the road. And just before I came out, something kept telling me, "Put your seatbelt on, put your belt on."
Yeah.
And it went on and put your belt. So I put my belt on.
Because you listen to your mind. Yep.
I was about 30, 40 miles from Glasgow, and there was a tailback for roadworks, and I was last in the queue in a transit van. And seconds after I stopped, this white van went into me doing 70 mile an hour. And the way I'd done it into, there's like 5 or 6 cars, all bump. The police, the dashboard, the engine, everything was just destroyed. And the police had said to me, if you hadn't been wearing your belt, you'd been through the windscreen.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know, and my family at the time says, why were you wearing your belt? Because I used to get into trouble for it all the time.
Sixth sense just kicked in.
I had a friend called Jamie, and he would never wear his seatbelt, and I made him promise me that he would wear it, and he just didn't like wearing it. Anyway, he had a couple of weeks later, I think he had an accident and he died. He went through the window.
Wear seatbelts, people. They save lives.
I think the thing that put me off is one of my, I haven't seen him in years now, but one of my mates, his mum and dad were involved in a bad crash from home for holiday. The car flipped upside down, went on fire. The dad got out, but the mother was trapped with the seatbelt. They couldn't get the belt off.
Again, yeah, it is like saves lives, but then she's done right by putting her seatbelt on, but then she's stuck and they don't release.
And so his mum, one of the cats here, his mum sadly passed away. She was burned to death in the car, and this
bless her.
Belt, you know, she was, and so I think after that put me off the wearing of the belts.
Yeah.
But it's just one of these things you just cannot explain it. Can't say Rannoch Moor. I've heard of Rannoch Moor. Where is that?
I don't know.
No, I'll have to Google that one.
Ooh, I think my friend
have a Google.
Need Google that one, Cam.
Yeah. Right, let's have a Google of Rannoch Moor. Let's have a look. Rannoch Moor is an expanse of around 50 square miles of boggy moorland in the west of Loch in Scotland, where it
Glen,
extends
I
from.
should know that. I've been up in North. I knew it was familiar, Cam. What bloody Glencoe? Sorry, Cam. Some Scotsman, I mean.
Is in Scotland.
Aye.
Hello.
The amount of times I've been up, it's 82, I've been up and down that road. You know what I mean? I knew it was familiar.
So the same happened to me on a train to Wales. I was looking out the window. I went funny on the train, all cold, like I walked over someone's grave again. My partner and her friend asked what's going on as I went. What's wrong? As I went all strange. I told them I feel like I just walked over a grave. They looked at me strangely when the train suddenly stopped. We waited for half hour until the train driver came on to announce he had explained someone had just thrown themselves. Oh wow!
Chat. Maybe you should work on that. It could be. You could have some mediumship there.
Absolutely,
Anthony.
definitely.
If you're picking up on stuff like that, then maybe you should see if you can train yourself in it.
Because we believe, and obviously Jamie, we were sort of talking about Jamie, our local resident weirdo.
Yeah.
So he has a trained hypnosis and psychic medium, and he is actually helping with myself at the moment. And I believe everyone's got a psychic ability.
Yeah. So a sixth sense. Might not be that strong, but everybody's got a certain.
How Jamie's explaining is there's 7 different medium or 7 different clair. So you get like clairaudience, clair seeing, clair knowing,
Infopaths.
Yeah,
all that.
So I believe everyone's got this ability. And some people obviously are just more susceptible to it. Some people see it as a children, but their parents try and block it because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I think it can come to anybody.
You can
at
develop
any time.
it, can't you?
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah. Maybe it's something you want to look into, Anthony.
It's whether you open yourself up to it or not, or you shut the door on it. You know, you kind of think, I don't believe it. Or another thing that holds people back is the fear that people might laugh at them, or
definitely.
mock them. Like you're just a weirdo. So they just keep it kind of to themselves. Do you know what I mean? Julie saying her sister-in-law died in a crash. She wore a seatbelt. Julie went, sorry to hear that, Julie.
Oh, bless Julie.
Anthony's asking about the Banshee.
Yes, the Banshee. Yes. If you hear it cry, you're done for. If you hear the noise of the Banshee, you are done. So, no, I won't be going to Ireland for that one.
Is it legend? Who knows? We don't touch anything like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll go. Obviously, again, we're gonna need to find one of these ghosts that have obviously witnessed the Banshee and obviously lived up to its name of being, dying. So, as like you said, is it a legendary? Is it a myth? Is it wise tales? I don't want to find out. I think there's something. I think there's there's a putty cat.
Oh,
hello. And I think Sarah's dog's just coming in to have a nose.
She wants to go to bed. That's what I promise. She's getting antsy.
There she is.
She sleeps at the bottom of our bed.
She's gone.
Don't talk then. I think we'll wind it up there anyway, ladies. We're getting into this.
2 hours already.
No, jeez.
It's amazing.
I'm having fun. I love it.
But to me, that's it. I'm not bragging or boasting, but to me, that's the sign of a good live. And you don't, we've done a couple of lives. No offense to the people, but it's like been pulling teeth for the first 30 minutes. You'd be better watching your own funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get lives like this that the time just disappears.
Yes,
and the conversation, don't we?
There's not a silent moment. The conversation just keeps flowing. There's always something to talk about. Paranormal or friends, and I love it.
Well, we're all mates, aren't we? All we need is a cup of tea.
Some iron brew.
You get this bond with people. As you see, you do get sometimes, and we've done it, no doubt you ladies have done it, where the conversation will just drop. You maybe see your guest, for instance, have you ever had a paranormal experience, right? And they'll say, no.
Yeah, it is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Obviously, when some guests are, some guests will chew your ear off.
Yeah.
Some
Aye.
guests will just be like you just said, obviously just to the point. No,
And we feel real comfortable with you as well, Scott.
definitely.
Just like chatting to a mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is. That's been my.
Well, you are a mate. What am I saying?
You're a mucker. You're a mucker.
You're a mucker.
Yeah,
Aye,
mucker.
Aye.
All right.
You're a mucker.
Thank you, Laura. Thank
But
you.
no, it is. We feel like good pal, good friends. Do you know what I mean? Because we do see me connect on a live, and as you say, Rosie, it's always a constant conversation. We're no sort of sitting, kind of looking at our phone and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
The only time I've looked at my phone was to search where Ronok Moore
Moore.
was.
Ronok,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ronok
you gotta
Moore.
roll the R's with the
Ronok Moore.
Ronok Moore.
The name, I used to drive the trucks up and down north every week. I've been up that road so many times. I've been up Inverness, Glencoe, and everywhere, and I knew the name, but I just couldn't.
Just wasn't registering. No.
Is it near Loch Ness?
Loch Ness. I've been up Loch Ness quite a few times.
Oh, I'd love to go there.
I'd love to go there. We actually booked a holiday to Italy this year,
Yeah.
and it nearly kind of fell through, and we all kind of said, well, if we don't get to go to Italy, I think we're going to go on a paranormal one in Scotland.
Oh, I want to see Alistair Crawley's house, but I think it's been knocked down.
It's a bit of a joint. I've actually swam in Loch Ness.
Really?
Yeah. Brave.
When I drove the trucks, I used to stop, when you run out of driving time, and during the summer, I'd park up the side of Loch Ness, and you're there, I think it was about 11 hours or something, you were there for break-wise. And, so during the summer, it was a nice night, and you'd be sitting down in the loch, and you're kind of bored, nothing much to do, and you go for a wee swim in the loch and what have you. I never met Nessie, but I never got to meet Nessie, but I've been up and doing that road so many times, and I've never accepted. I believe there is something there. There is something in the loch.
There's something there.
Is it a water horse? They call it a water horse. Is it a real myth? A water horse.
A what? It's
A horse.
they say it's a myth or a legend, but there's been a lot of investigations done in it, and scientists have picked up sonar readings that they can't explain.
Wow.
The loch is connected to the sea. It's actually a sea loch, where a lot of Scottish lochs are sat inland. Loch Ness is 26, 27 miles long, and it opens up to the sea. It's
Right.
some kind of cave, whatever. So one theory is, and I believe it's very. No, people might call me nuts, but I'm from Glasgow, so I don't care. There is something, and it's no thousands of years old. I think it's kind of generation after generation that comes in and out of the loch, between the sea and the loch.
Right.
Like one of them dinosaurs, the ones with long necks that swim.
I don't know. There's been photographs, with big long neck and that, but they were proved to be fake. There have been some underwater photographs captured, or kind of big flipper, big fin, whatever you want to call it, that they can't explain. But it's like one of these things. It's I mean, like the Yeti. People say the Yeti exists. There's evidence to suggest Jack's Arnold, Racco was should be in the night. That's what she does. She goes Bigfoot hunting. Yeti.
Yep.
I'm actually the Yeti and the Bigfoot the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
More or less.
Same family, brother and sister, but I don't know. That's what she does. She goes hunting for.
Wow.
But Nessie, to me, there's something in the loch, but what it is, we don't know.
You don't know.
There's something in the water.
There's something in the water there, Dawn. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Brilliant.
I didn't get a good look at it, but it's definitely there. You know what I'm saying?
Something's in there.
You know where I'm coming from? There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a visit.
I mean, let's face it, they've been hunting for Nessie for decades,
Years. Yeah.
and there's been so many teams from all around the world went to Loch Ness with everything you can, every gadget you can think of, and they're still no found her.
I was going to say, it's 2022. they must have like cameras up watching, you know, that they can check periodically. It's going to
Right.
show it's going to show its face at some stage.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you know, it's got UFOs. I believe they exist, but are we ever going to? Have you ever going to walk out your house one day and see one sitting above
My
your
mum
house?
did in Yorkshire. It was right above our house, but it was New Year's Eve and she'd had a few bevies. I said, "Did you see pink elephants as well, Mum?" But she said no. There was all lights and that going round, and her and her husband. It was so close. She said I could have touched it, and she ran in. She was in Yorkshire in Driffield.
did she have fairy lights up?
Oh no, she
Bless
goes,
her.
I said usually they beam you up and like steal your eggs, Mum, or they'd use your Grandad Mick to fertilise a load of other alien ladies, and but she said it would be no good because he's a Jaffa. So
I watched a show. I'm not going to name them, but it was you have to see it to believe it. And the two people on that claimed that aliens possessed, and they done it on the show. The aliens possessed them and took their
Oh.
spirits up into the mothership,
oh,
or whatever,
no.
you know.
That's a bit-
And then
Don't you get
bit
your
far
mind
back.
wiped?
they came
Like,
back
you
again.
Like Men
You
in
know.
Black, you get your mind wiped.
Look into the light, cha-ching.
They were sitting on this live, and they're kind of like, you know, rolling the eyes and the head and everything.
Oh.
Oh
And
no.
then they kind of came back again. I'm thinking, really, you know, seriously.
Oh dear.
One of them lives in London. Now, NASA's been hunting for aliens for decades, but they decided to turn up in a wee flat in London.
Yeah,
Oh.
You know, makes you wonder.
yeah.
5 minutes.
Don't
babe.
sleep with that window open.
Aye,
They'll be in your bedroom.
there's a wee flat in Harrogate. We'll go there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of all the world.
Don't mind the neighbours.
Oh, there's some nutters out there, isn't there?
Sarah, me and my partner watched you on One Born every
yes,
minute.
yes, I was on One Born every minute. They filmed us 3 times.
Yeah.
And little Gino, he's 11 now. Yeah. It's all right. He come out the sunroof. You didn't see anything.
All right, I get you now.
I think Nando, you've got to show your face here because they've watched you on One Born every minute. Her husband sat right here. He says hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he's all right now.
Is he not going to pop his head on and say hello?
Oh, you want to say
Come on.
hello? Come on, Nan.
come on,
Come on, Nando.
come
say
on,
hello.
come and say hello.
I had preeclampsia with Gino. It was really scary. He was in neonatal for two weeks. Oh.
Right, okay.
Evening, everyone.
Evening.
Down a little bit.
You right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's my little bit.
There we go. There's
There
Nando.
yeah.
That's I'm done with it. I think we'll wind it up there, ladies. I'll keep a hold of you anyway for a wee second or two after we come off.
Perfect.
Because that's us over the 2 hours. But it's been brilliant. It's been great.
Yeah,
I've
I've had a good
loved
time.
every minute.
Had a lovely little chit chat.
So do you want, just before we go, do you want to plug where you are going next and where
Yeah.
people can find you?
Absolutely, yeah. So tomorrow night, guys, we are at Shepton at Mallet.
Still some tickets left.
There is still some tickets left.
Yeah.
It's £55 per person, 9 p.m. till 3
3:30.
3 p.m. 3:30.
Yeah,
And again, free hot drinks, free cold drinks, some snacks included as well.
yeah.
And obviously us and our rest of our team. We have then got Wimmering Manor. Now it is a sold out event. We will have cameras up, so we are Portal to the Paranormal, PTTP. We are on Facebook.
It's at www.portaltotheparanormal.co.uk.
Perfect.
Yeah,
and
check
then
out our events.
Yeah, Wimmering Manor. We will have the cameras up.
Yeah,
So
we've got a new one as well, haven't we? Guildford College.
Yeah, Guildford College.
Yeah,
So,
November.
what's the date for that one?
The 11th.
11th of November, Guildford College.
Yeah.
I believe that's all up on the webpage for all of us. So yeah. We've got some great places coming up. Also got Antwerp Mansion in Manchester.
Oh wow, that was
That
amazing.
Is April the 30th, 13th.
Yeah.
Oh god, we ain't even
Yeah,
got our dates up
The
here.
first time we went was brilliant. Really, really.
It really
good.
was amazing.
Yeah.
So much activity
Big
went
old
on.
manor house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat balls were going off left, right, and centre. And
Oxford Castle. and
Oh,
prison in
Oxford
September.
Castle and prison in September as well.
yeah,
Sleepover. So you
Aye,
sleep in one of
sleepover.
the jails. Yeah.
These are going to be very busy ladies.
Very
Busy
busy.
indeed.
We've got a few coming up now. Then we've got the Festival of the Unexplained.
Oh, can't wait! I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we've got more investigations coming. I think April was quite quiet for us,
yeah.
other
Yeah,
than
but we've got
Antwerp
a few-
Mansion. We've got a little bit of a month off.
But
We still got the podcast. We've got a lot more.
Yeah,
guests
we've got
Yeah.
more guests coming on our podcast as
yeah,
well.
we've got
so-
somebody from, or I can give you a little nibble. We've got somebody from Paranormal Kids. Is it Yeah.
little
Psychic
snippet.
Kids.
Yeah,
Psychic
Psychic
Kids.
Kids. That's it. Yeah,
A wee teaser.
a wee teaser.
A
Yeah,
wee little
a
teaser.
wee little teaser.
Oh, thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me know.
So if you guys haven't got any tickets for Bosworth, it's in the Midlands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Check out, there's Valentine's offer on at the moment for £250, and you can go the Saturday, you can party with the stars in the evenings, and you get a buffet, and then you can go the Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Bargain.
Now you get to meet the girls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably to be better. So that's us for tonight, folks. We're out, hopefully, weather permitting, we're out investigating tomorrow night. And then Saturday night, we're back live. We've got Mr. Brian Lafferty coming in. With
Oh,
friend Brian.
He'll be at Bosworth too.
Yeah.
And he's going to Sherwood Forest.
Well, I'll be talking to him about Sherwood Forest. He's
Definitely.
the
Yeah, I love
CEO
that.
of Parapost Network as well. So
Yeah.
he's on with us on Saturday, 9 o'clock, which I'm looking forward to.
Perfect.
You watching?
You better be watching. If
We
you're
will
on
be
there,
giving it a watch, definitely.
you better be watching.
And, and Scott, it's a Brabeck Mulek Nikian.
Right, come on, Rosie. One last one for you as well.
Oh, okay. I am going to say the one that I really liked earlier. Where is it? I hope your next shite is a hedgehog. I absolutely love that. I've never heard that saying in my life. Even Nando looked at me and went, what does that mean? I went, well, you're going to have a spiky poo. It's going to hurt.
We're going to have a spiky poo. That's quite right. That's quite right. We'll see. We'll say goodnight just now, folks, and hopefully we'll see you Saturday with Brian on the panel with these two girls in the chat. So talk to you soon. Take care, and thanks for coming in and all your comments and stuff. And we'll see you shortly. Bye.
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 Good night.